Nightclub spending, tenfold cashback, and beauties everywhere. Qin Feng, let's break up. I still feel that we are not suitable for each other. At the gate of Harbour University, a young girl dressed in fancy clothes, with a slender figure and fair skin, said to Qin Feng. After saying this, she turned around and got on a white BMW sedan parked at the school gate, leaving Qin Feng alone in the wind. Qin Feng was more or less used to the words the girl had just said to him. After all, the words he had heard the most in his life were those just now. Although he was not ugly, he was still a handsome guy. Originally, he thought that as long as a man was handsome, he could do whatever he wanted in his life and be loved by all girls in the world. But until this moment, after living for more than 20 years and experiencing a series of beatings from society and women, Qin Feng realized that for men, in addition to being handsome, there is another crucial word. And this word is nothing else but money. It must be said that sometimes money can indeed beat handsomeness to a certain extent. Just like the owner of the white BMW 5 Series that his ex-girlfriend just got into, Yang Fan, the rich second generation of Harbour University. He is absolutely ugly, with a big bald head and extremely fat. He can't compare with him in appearance at all. There is a huge difference. But Qin Feng also understands that no matter how handsome he is, he can't compete with the Rolex gold watch worth tens of thousands of dollars on Yang Fan's wrist, and the glittering BMW 5 Series car key. Hey, Jian, do you have time tonight? Let's have a drink together. I'm heartbroken. Thinking of this, Qin Feng sighed silently, then took out his mobile phone from his pocket and called his good brother Zhang Jian. He wanted to have a drink with the latter in the evening to drown his sorrows. Although he has long been accustomed to the matter of heartbreak, Liu Yu is just like his previous girlfriends. They were with him for a while because he was handsome. Qin Feng thought he would be with this group of people forever, but it was not until now that he realized it. In this world, being handsome alone won't keep people. Only by adding financial support behind being handsome can there be a long-term solution. No, brother, I will finish my postgraduate entrance examination next month, so I'm quitting drinking during this period. Don't be too sad, it's good that you broke up with Liu Yu. I've long seen that woman as bad. She has been flirting with Yang Fan, the rich second generation in the school. It's only a matter of time for the two of them to be together. You two breaking up is also a good thing for you. If you can't hold the sand, just throw it away. Qin Feng originally planned to get drunk with his good brother to dispel his inner melancholy, but his good brother has to take the postgraduate entrance examination next month, so he won't touch alcohol or women during this period. Okay, brother, I'll drink by myself tonight. Qin Feng sighed after hearing this and hung up the phone silently. It seems that I can only drink by myself tonight. But he didn't want to drink alone. As the saying goes, drinking alone makes you drunk, and drinking alone makes you more worried. It's just like that. He had to find a companion. Just then, Qin Feng suddenly remembered a place where he could find someone to drink with him, and she was a beautiful woman. Although she might be a little older, it didn't matter. Qin Feng just wanted to find someone to drink with him today. As long as the other person was a woman and could drink, it didn't matter what else. 8 o'clock in the evening. Qin Feng found the most handsome sports suit from the dormitory closet, put it on, applied a light hairspray on his medium-length hair, and combed it all upside down and back. Looking at the mature and handsome self in the mirror, Qin Feng couldn't help but sigh why Liu Yu chose to break up with him. The reason might still be the word money that can't be escaped. It seems that in this era, men can't do anything without money. No matter how handsome he looks, he still has to be a little bit off. At 8:30 in the evening, after dressing up carefully and putting on his Casio watch worth $1,000, Qin Feng walked out of the door. He arrived at the school gate, called an online taxi, and went straight to a KTV in the center of Haigang City, above the moon. Above the Moon is a semi-business KTV in Haigang City. The facilities inside are pretty good, and the most important thing is that there are singing girls. Of course, since the consumption is relatively mid-range, all the food is vegetarian, and there are no unnecessary things. This is also the reason why Qin Feng chose to go here. First, because he didn't have enough money in his hand, only a pitiful $1,000. Second, because he didn't like to do those things, he just wanted to find someone to drink with him tonight. On the way, Qin Feng sat in the back seat of the taxi, opened his bank card balance and looked at it, looking at the 1,080 yuan, frowned. Chapter 2, Super Reversal System Binding Successful. The 1,000 yuan was neither too much nor too little. It was enough for Qin Feng to spend for hours at the KTV, drinking with the girls all night. However, it required some extreme measures to make sure he didn't overspend. Extra tips for the waitstaff or any other unnecessary expenses were out of the question. Qin Feng had been to Above the Moon KTV a few times before, usually after drinking with friends, and back then, they split the bill evenly, each person spending a few hundred yuan. He felt that the girls there were decent, and he assumed that tonight he would find a suitable companion to drink with, to help ease his mood and forget his troubles. 20 minutes later, Qin Feng arrived at Above the Moon, located in the center of Haigang City. After paying the driver 10 yuan for the fare, he stepped out. Since it was a Sunday, there were quite a few people out having fun. The parking spaces outside the KTV were nearly all taken. Among the cars, there were several BMWs, Audis, and Mercedes-Benz vehicles, but no high-end cars. After all, Above the Moon was a mid-range venue in Haigang City. There were people with money here, but not extremely wealthy individuals. As soon as he walked through the entrance, a male server greeted him enthusiastically. "Hey, handsome. Long time no see." To Qin Feng's surprise, the server, a short guy with a stubble and a face that exuded competence, actually remembered him. He quickly walked over to Qin Feng, greeted him warmly, and offered to arrange a room for him. "Oh, been pretty busy lately," Qin Feng replied with a slight smile, giving a brief response to the server's enthusiasm. Normally, Qin Feng would have let the server bring out the payment QR code so he could tip him an additional 180 yuan or so. However, with only 1,000 yuan left in his bank account, he couldn't afford any extra spending. After all, if he tipped now, he might not have enough left to settle the bill later. To his surprise, the server's enthusiasm didn't stop there. He escorted Qin Feng all the way to the elevator and pressed the button to take him upstairs. He then gave Qin Feng a knowing look and smiled. At this point, Qin Feng realized that if he didn't do something now, it would be too late. "All right, buddy, bring out the payment QR code. I'll tip you a little," Qin Feng said, pulling out his phone with a smile. "Got it, bro." The server, seeming to have been waiting for those words, quickly pulled his phone out of his pocket and showed Qin Feng the payment code interface he had already prepared. "Big brother, my name is Fei. From now on, just look for me when you come here. We'll add each other on WeChat later, and I'll make sure you're always taken care of." Fei added as he took a cigarette from his pocket, lit it for Qin Feng, and continued with a grin. "WeChat payment, 100 yuan. Soon, Qin Feng's tip of 100 yuan was received by Fei, and his smile grew even brighter. "What should I call you, big brother?" Fei asked excitedly, continuing to guide Qin Feng up to the elevator. It was as though he had found a big brother who could always look out for him. "Just call me Qin Feng responded, forcing a smile as he replied. Although Fei was smiling joyfully, Qin Feng couldn't help but feel a little down. Not because of Fei's enthusiasm, but because he had carefully calculated the money in his bank account. That 1,000 yuan was just enough for a night's entertainment at Above the Moon. After tipping Fei 100 yuan, his plan was suddenly disrupted. What if he didn't have enough money to pay the bill when he left? The thought made him anxious. At that moment, a voice suddenly echoed in his mind. "Congratulations, host. The super reversal system has been successfully bound, with a tenfold cashback mechanism. As long as the host spends money at a nightlife venue, it will be refunded to their bank account at 10 times the amount." Qin Feng froze for a moment, not sure what had just happened. Then it clicked. As a college student, he often read online novels and watched movies, so he knew what a system was. But he never imagined he would actually get one, and especially not at such a crucial moment. Did the system just say that any money he spent at a nightlife venue would be refunded to his bank account tenfold? In that case, didn't the 100 yuan tip he just gave Fei count as well? Ding dong. Just then, Qin Feng's phone vibrated. He quickly pulled it out to check. When he saw that the message was from the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China 95588, his eyes widened in shock. Chapter 3, Switch to a bigger room. Dear Industrial and Commercial Bank user, your bank card ending in 4419 has just received a transfer of 1,000 yuan. Your current balance is now 1,970 yuan. What the hell? Seeing his bank balance suddenly increase from 970 yuan to 1,970 yuan, an increase of exactly 1,000 yuan, Qin Feng couldn't help but smile with joy. The worry that he wouldn't have enough money to pay the bill had vanished in an instant, replaced by an overwhelming excitement. He couldn't believe it, this system actually worked. At the same time, he thought back to when the system had come so late. If it had appeared sooner, Liu Yu wouldn't have broken up with him today. But it was fine, as the saying goes, better late than never. From now on, with the system in place, he would make sure Liu Yu the bitch would regret breaking up with him. It was the biggest mistake she'd ever made. Big brother Feng, how about this room? Before long, a Fei had escorted Qin Feng to a small private room on the third floor of Above the Moon KTV. No good, this room is too small. Let's switch to another one. Standing at the door, Qin Feng frowned and shook his head. Normally, Qin Feng wouldn't hesitate to enter any room. After all, his bank balance was only enough for a small room. But things were different now. He now had the Tenfold cashback system. This meant that all the money he spent at Above the Moon would be refunded to his bank account at 10 times the amount. In other words, when he left the KTV tonight, not only would his balance not decrease, but it would multiply. So, how could he not spend a little more and enjoy himself while he had the chance? Oh, big brother Feng, for just you, a small room would be fine. If you get a girl too, the two of you could sit comfortably in here. Hearing Qin Feng's request, a Fei paused for a moment, then smiled and said, but if you want a bigger room, we can arrange that. What's wrong, a Fei? You think your big brother Feng is short on cash? I said, change the room. I want a bigger one, Qin Feng replied seriously. The reason Qin Feng wanted a bigger room was twofold. First, he wanted to get more cash back. Second, it was about face. He was going to order a girl later to drink with him, so it would only be right to give her a bit more comfort. He could give up his pride, but he still had to show some respect to the girl. A bigger room would make her more comfortable, and also make him look better. Okay, big brother Feng. A Fei nodded in agreement, and led Qin Feng to another room. How about this one, big brother Feng? It's a medium room, big enough for 7 or 8 people. A Fei stood by the door, pointing inside with a smile. He thought Qin Feng would be happy, but to his surprise, Qin Feng shook his head again. No, still too small. I want a bigger one. Qin Feng spoke slowly, clearly not satisfied. This room was actually a decent size, and the facilities were good. Qin Feng had used a medium room before when he came with his friends. But the problem was, the cost of this medium room was too cheap. It was only 80 yuan per hour. In the past, 80 yuan was a reasonable amount for Qin Feng, a poor student. But now, with the Tenfold cashback system, spending 80 yuan only returned 800 yuan, which wasn't enough for what he wanted. He needed a room that could give him thousands, or even tens of thousands in cashback. Big brother Feng, for just you, the medium room is already quite good. If you want to bring a girl, you can still have a great time. But if you switch to a bigger room, the cost will go up, a Fei advised seriously. After all, Qin Feng had just tipped him 100 yuan, so a Fei now saw Qin Feng as a good brother. He felt it was his duty to offer some advice. Based on Qin Feng's appearance and the Casio watch on his wrist, a Fei assumed Qin Feng wasn't extremely wealthy but still had some money. Moreover, a Fei had seen that Qin Feng arrived by taxi, which reinforced his assumption that Qin Feng wasn't loaded. A Fei, don't talk like that. Are you looking down on big brother Feng? Qin Feng turned around and patted a Fei's shoulder with a resolute expression. I said, switch it. Get me a bigger one. Qin Feng knew that a Fei was just trying to save him some money. From his clothes and the fact that he took a taxi, a Fei probably thought Qin Feng wasn't that rich and didn't want him to spend too much. But Qin Feng wanted to make it clear that once the system kicked in, he wouldn't be dressing like this for long. In a couple of days, he might show up driving a Mercedes G-Class. As long as his spending in the nightlife venue was substantial enough, anything was possible. Chapter 4, If you don't take what God has given you, you will be punished. Okay, brother Feng, let's move to another room. Seeing Qin Feng was so determined, a Fei had no choice but to take Qin Feng to another room. How about this one, Feng? It's big enough for 20 people. You and your sister can even have a running race in it. It's just a little expensive, 500 yuan an hour, I think we should just take the medium-sized car, which is pretty good. Standing at the door of the nearly 50 square meter big room, Afei pointed inside and said to Qin Feng. In fact, Afei was not afraid of Qin Feng spending money. After all, he also received a commission from Qin Feng's consumption tonight. But he saw that Qin Feng was relatively young and didn't look like he was particularly rich. If he spent too much at one time and didn't come again in the future, he would be screwed. Qin Feng looked into the big bag and still shook his head. Afei originally thought that Qin Feng heard that the hourly charge for a large room was as high as 500 oceans per hour and thought it was too expensive, so he wanted to change back to a medium room. But unexpectedly, Qin Feng's next words took Afei completely by surprise. No, it's still too small. I remember that our store has that presidential bag that is over 100 square meters, right? After taking a look inside the big bag, Qin Feng turned around and continued to ask Afei. In fact, for Qin Feng, this big package worth 500 yuan per hour is already very good. If he sits here for an hour, he will receive a cashback of up to 5,000 yuan in his bank card. But the same thing goes, now that he has obtained the system, if he doesn't use it as soon as possible to increase his bank card balance, when will he do so? As the saying goes, if you don't accept what God gives you, you will suffer the consequences. This is exactly what it means. The presidential bag. The presidential package costs $2,000 per hour. Are you sure you want to take it? After hearing what Qin Feng said, Afei was shocked and at a loss. At the same time, he looked Qin Feng up and down again, and looked at the Casio watch on his wrist. I wonder if I have mistaken you for someone else. Could it be that this handsome guy in front of me is a top expert who is pretending to be a pig but is actually very powerful, but is just low-key on the surface? Okay. Take the presidential bag. After hearing that the presidential bag was worth up to 2,000 oceans an hour later, Qin Feng nodded at Afei with satisfaction. You know, that's 2,000 oceans. If he sits for an hour, he can get a cashback of 20,000 oceans. In this way, he actually came here to make money, and all the waiters and girls in the nightclub became his companions to make money. Isn't it wonderful? What more could he ask for? Okay, brother Feng, I'll ask for you and see if there's any empty bag now. In desperation, Afei could only pick up the intercom and ask the bartender. I'm sorry, brother Feng, today is a busy Sunday, so the only 2 presidential bags in our store are already full. How about we take the big package today, and wait until next time? The next time you come, the presidential package will be arranged for you. A moment later, after receiving the message, Afei said to Qin Feng with a slight apology. After hearing what Afei said, Qin Feng was also quite disappointed. Not for anything else, just because I came to the moon once and finally got the chance to get cash back on my purchases, but I haven't even bought the most expensive presidential bag yet. Having missed a great opportunity to increase the balance in his bank card, how could he not feel deeply disappointed? You know, Qin Feng expected that by the time he left the moon, the balance in his bank card would reach 100,000. But it doesn't matter. Even though I didn't get the presidential bag, I can still increase my spending on drinks later. Anyway, places like nightclubs are places where you burn money. When you come here, you are not afraid of not spending money, but you are afraid of having no money to spend. Okay, let's take the big bag today. Wait until next time. Next time, the president will definitely arrange for you to come to me no matter what. Qin Feng then nodded and said to Afei. Then, under the guidance of Afei, he came to the big tent above the moon and sat down. Looking at this unusually spacious KTV room of nearly 50 square meters, Qin Feng had only one word in his mind at this moment, that is, awesome. It was exactly as Afei said, it would be no problem for her to have a running race with her sister here later. Brother Qin, let's sit here today, and we can take the presidential cabin next time. For drinks, how about we go back to the 380 yuan set menu? Afei picked up the walkie-talkie and continued to ask Qin Feng. When Qin Feng and his friends came here before, they ordered the 380 yuan set meal, which included 24 bottles of Xiao Harbin beer and a fruit plate with snacks. Let's bring the girl in first. We'll order the set meal later. Sitting on the huge sofa, Qin Feng slowly took out a box of red Golden Dragon cigarettes worth 7 yuan from his pocket, put one in his mouth, lit it, and said to Afei. The set meal doesn't matter right now. With the cashback system in place, you definitely can't order the 380 set meal that doesn't look presentable anymore. You'll just have to order the most expensive one then. The current problem is girls. If he can't see a suitable singing girl above the moon tonight, he may have to consider changing places. If it really doesn't work, he can go to Caesar Empire, the most upscale KTV on the downtown street of Haigang City. Anyway, he is not afraid of spending now. Brother Qin Feng, please sit down first. I will bring the girl over for you to see. Our Fei first said to Qin Feng with a smile. All girls, all go upstairs, big bag 308, choose a channel, big bag 308, choose a channel. Be alert later, the person in this room is my eldest brother, he is not short of money. Then he took out the walkie-talkie and said seriously. Chapter 5 Call everyone in. Actually, there are presidential bags above the moon today. There are 2 presidential bags in total, each covering an area of nearly 100 square meters, and the hourly charge is as high as 2,000 oceans. One of them happened to be vacant today. It was our Fei who lied to Qin Feng. The reason why Fei chose to lie to Qin Feng was not for any other reason, but because he was afraid that Qin Feng could not afford it. Qin Feng had been here several times with his friends before, and he had a deep impression of this handsome guy who looked very similar to Liang Chaowei in his prime. I feel that this guy is really handsome, especially his pair of sparkling eyes, which make people's hearts beat wildly for no reason. Not to mention the girls in the store, even he, a man in his 30s, would feel something after touching him. But no matter how handsome he is, based on Fei's previous contacts with Qin Feng, he still felt that this handsome guy might not have much money in his pocket. After all, Qin Feng had not paid for the previous few times, and all the drinks ordered in the private room were ordinary 380 sets. If Qin Feng came here today after getting drunk and didn't have much money in his pocket, he would be in trouble if he got into the presidential bag which cost 2,000 oceans an hour and couldn't pay the bill when he left. His commission is small, but his elder brother's face is a big deal. From the moment Qin Feng gave him a reward of $100, Fei regarded Qin Feng as a good brother whom he could follow for the rest of his life. Although Qin Feng may not have that much money in his pocket, it doesn't matter. What matters is that Qin Feng is a real person and worth making friends with. So to be on the safe side, Fei chose to lie to Qin Feng and let him sit in a big bag instead of the top-of-the-line presidential bag. But after seeing Qin Feng's series of shocking consumption today, Fei will feel extremely regretful in his heart. I lamented that I had miscalculated. Perhaps there is a group of people in this world who are destined to keep a low profile. If he could have let Qin Feng sit in the presidential package instead of the big package, then the commission he would have received today would definitely have increased significantly. Of course, this is a later story, so let us not talk about it for now. At this moment, after hearing the call from our Fei's intercom on the 3rd floor, several girls in the public relations office on the 1st floor above the moon suddenly became alert, stood up quickly, and started smearing and painting in front of the mirror. Since today is Sunday, there are not many girls left in above the moon. There are only 4 girls sitting in the huge public relations room, and the rest are busy in other rooms. Among these 4 girls, 2 are quite young, around 20 years old. They are wearing light blue dresses and look extremely pure and charming. The other 2 are a little older, but not that much older, around 27 or 28 years old. Compared to the other 2 girls, they are definitely much older. Brother Fei, how old is the guest here? If it's too small, I want to go. At this moment, one of the girls, who was wearing a black miniskirt, flesh-colored stockings, sexy black high heels, with a slender figure and a fair face, took out her mobile phone and WeChat and asked Fei who was on the 3rd floor. This person's name is Mai Mai, she is 28 years old this year. Although she is quite pretty and has her own unique charm, she is a little older than the other girls, so it is not easy for her to get on the stage on the moon. After all, men are young men until they die. No matter how old men are in this world, even if they are in their 70s or 80s, when they sit in a KTV room, most of them will choose the younger one. Of course, Qin Feng is an exception. I'm in my early 20s, what's wrong with me? Let me tell you, the person sitting in the big box 308 is my good brother. He is very old and particular, and has a lot of money in his pocket. He even gave me a 100 yuan tip before going upstairs. You can't miss this room. If my brother Feng chooses you later, you'll be in a good place. I guess he'll always look for you from now on. I think my brother Feng is a loyal man and not promiscuous. On the other end of WeChat, Fei understood what Mai Mai meant and quickly spoke to her. I hope she can come to this room to choose a channel, even if it's just for a try. It must be said that although our Faye has had contact with Qin Feng for a relatively short time, after so many years of working in the nightlife scene, our Faye has come into contact with many customers and can tell what kind of man he is at a glance. Our Faye feels that Qin Feng is different from other lustful guests. Others come here to play just to take advantage, but Qin Feng may simply want to drink some wine and find someone to talk to. This is why a Faye persuaded Mai Mai to come to this room to choose. Maybe Qin Feng will choose her by accident. After hearing what a Faye said, Mai Mai began to waver and decided to go to Qin Feng to try. Let's go, Mai Mai, go inside and take a look. If it doesn't work, come back. Her best friend of the same age also advised her, then smiled and took her hand and walked out the door. Mai Mai had no choice but to follow her bestie and two other younger girls upstairs and arrive at the door of private room 308 where Qin Feng was. Brother Feng, the girls are all here. Call them in now. Can you take a look? After the four remaining girls on the moon were all in place, a Faye knocked on the door of room 308, walked in and said to Qin Feng with a smile. Okay, call them all in. After hearing what our Faye said, Qin Feng took a deep breath, took the last puff of his cigarette, threw the cigarette butt on the ground and stomped it out, then nodded to our Faye and said. Although Qin Feng had obtained an extremely powerful system at this time, he should have been very happy. But to be realistic, Qin Feng discovered that there was still some emo hidden in his heart. As for the reason, Qin Feng probably felt that it had something to do with his breakup this afternoon. As the saying goes, humans are not plants or trees, so who can be heartless? After all, Qin Feng is just a young man in his early 20s who has just entered the society. There is a saying that goes, every young boy is passionate and every young girl is in love. The time he spent with Liu Yu was neither long nor short, just 3 months. These 3 months were enough for him to fall in love with someone and develop feelings for a member of the opposite sex. Having said that, from the moment Liu Yu broke up with him at the gate of Harbour University today and sat in the passenger seat of Yang Fan's BMW in front of him, Qin Feng knew that there was no possibility for him and her to be together in this life. Even if one day the latter knelt before him and begged him, that would be impossible. Because Qin Feng remembered a sentence deeply in his heart, that is, if you are unfaithful once, you will be unfaithful for life. It is just like that, there is nothing wrong with it. Qin Feng is such a man with personality. After all, once unfaithful, always unfaithful. So Qin Feng still had some expectations for the girl who was about to enter the room. I hope that in the next election, he can choose a girl he likes and forget all the unpleasantness today and that bitch Liu Yu. Chapter 6 Mai Mai stays, the others leave. All girls, 308, come in and choose a channel, 308, come in and choose a channel. After hearing Qin Feng's words that the girl could enter the house, a Faye quickly turned around, stood at the door of room 308, clapped his hands vigorously, and shouted loudly at the 4 girls waiting outside. Then he pushed the door open and walked in, opening the door for the 4 girls who were about to enter the room. The first people to enter the house were 2 younger girls who had just turned 20. Both girls were wearing dresses, revealing their smooth and white thighs. Their feet were covered with smiles, and they looked at Qin Feng affectionately. The height of these 2 people is about 167 centimeters, and they look extremely young and beautiful. If ordinary customers saw them, they would definitely stay without hesitation and would not even look back. But Qin Feng was not an ordinary guest. When he saw the 2 people who appeared in front of him first, he frowned immediately, and a great sense of loss and disappointment surged in his heart. Not for any other reason, just because these 2 people are so similar to Liu Yu. Whenever he saw them, Qin Feng would always think of Liu Yu unconsciously. This feeling is extremely uncomfortable, just like being fed shit. Qin Feng is thinking of going to another place. If all else fails, he can go to Caesar Empire, the most upscale KTV in the entire harbor city. Although today is Sunday, there must be a lot of free girls in Caesar. He will always be able to find one he likes who can drink with him today and make him forget that bitch Liu Yu and all the unpleasant people in the past. Although Qin Feng thought so, the next second, when the other 2 girls entered the room, Qin Feng's heart, which had just been lost, was suddenly lifted up. He saw that these 2 girls were very different from the girl just now. There was no trace of Liu Yu on them. Although they were a little older, it didn't matter. The important thing was that they didn't remind him of Liu Yu. That was enough. Then Qin Feng looked at the last 2 girls intently, especially the last one, which made ripples in his heart. This person was a curvy and slim girl, about 1.7 meters tall, wearing a black gauze skirt, flesh-colored stockings, sexy black gauze shoes, with a fair face and a slim figure. The most important thing is that pair of beautiful eyes, like the bright moon in the sky. The moment he saw this person, Qin Feng's heart trembled and he felt like he was electrocuted. Although Qin Feng had been to nightclubs many times before and had met many girls. But Qin Feng had to admit that the feeling this person gave him was different from everyone else. The most important thing is that there is not a trace of Liu Yu's aura on her. She and Liu Yu are two completely opposite women. If she sat next to him, he wouldn't be reminded of that bitch Liu Yu at all, and that was enough. Brother Feng, since today is Sunday, the store is quite busy. If there is nothing you like, why don't we wait for a while? If there are any girls coming down from other rooms later, I will bring them over to Brother Feng immediately. Seeing Qin Feng staring at the four girls in a daze, Fei thought that Qin Feng did not see the girl he liked, so he hurriedly said to Qin Feng with an apologetic look. Unexpectedly, Qin Feng's next words were far beyond his expectations. Girl standing at the end, what's your name? Qin Feng slowly took out a box of 7 yuan hard-pack red golden dragon cigarettes from his pocket, took out one, lit it in his mouth, took a deep breath, pointed at Mai who was standing at the last seat, and asked with a smile. Oh, me? Mai didn't expect Qin Feng to suddenly ask her name. She immediately widened her eyes, pointed her index finger at her face, and said in shock. Brother is asking you a question. Seeing this, Fei quickly reached out his hand, gently pushed Mei's lower back, and said. Although Mai still doesn't understand what Qin Feng means, as a man himself, Fei knows men too well. The moment Qin Feng lit up the red golden dragon in his hand, it was a foregone conclusion that Mai would sit in this room. All that was left was to go through the process. Brother Feng, my name is Mai. Then Mai quickly forced a smile on her face and responded to Qin Feng. My heart was filled with shock and helplessness. Because from the moment she entered the room, she didn't have any expectation that Qin Feng would keep her, and she didn't expect that Qin Feng would take the initiative to ask her name. It was not for any other reason, but because Qin Feng, who was sitting on the sofa, was so young and extremely handsome, with the style of Hong Kong and Taiwan star Tony Leung Chiu-wai. How could such a young, handsome and good guy like her be interested in an old woman like her? If so, it was definitely God's arrangement, or maybe it was a destined fate between her and this handsome guy named Feng Ji. Okay, Mai stays, and the others leave. Then Qin Feng smiled knowingly, nodded heavily at Fei who was standing at the door, and said with a smile. The reason why Qin Feng asked Mei's name first and then kept her was because he was afraid that this woman's name was Ye. What if her name contains the same word as Liu Yu's? That would be fucked. But fortunately not. Qin Feng felt that perhaps this was a kind of fate that allowed him to have a brief night together with the woman in front of him. At this moment, Qin Feng doesn't know that his fate with Mai goes far beyond this. In the future, he will use the system to make a lot of money from Mai. While helping Mai, he was also helping himself, earning a lot of money, which allowed him to have a qualitative improvement in his life outside of the nightclub. Of course, this is all a story for later, so let us not talk about it for now. When Qin Feng decided to keep Mai, the other three girls walked out with disappointed looks on their faces. Before leaving, Mei's best friend who was about the same age as her gave her a smiling look, indicating that she had found a treasure. Because with a guest like Qin Feng who is young and handsome, and has the style of Hong Kong and Taiwan star Tony Leung Chiu-wai in his prime, not to mention Mai, even she wants to accompany him. But maybe it's because there is no destined fate between me and Qin Feng. At this time, she didn't know that her fate with Qin Feng was also deep, but it was not as deep as that between Mai and Qin Feng. Brother Feng, what do we want for our drinks package? How about we order the 380 yuan set meal and drink more with Brother Feng tonight? It looks like Brother Feng is unhappy today and has something on his mind. He wants to get drunk, otherwise he wouldn't come here alone. After Mai sat down next to Qin Feng, she first picked up her phone and reported a table in the group, then picked up the red golden dragon cigarette that Qin Feng had bought for 7 yuan on the table, lit a cigarette for Qin Feng, and said with a smile. Chapter 7 Hennessy Set Meal. I won't take the 380 yuan set meal. I want to drink something red today. Qin Feng took the cigarette that Mai lit for him, put it to his lips, took a deep breath, then smiled and said to her. This is indeed the case. In the past, when he came here, he always ordered the 380 yuan drink set meal, 24 bottles of Schauhaben beer, and a fruit plate with snacks. But today is different. Today he has obtained a tenfold cashback system for nightclub consumption, so naturally he can't just search on QQ as before and order that mere 380 yuan wine and beverage set. Naturally, he has to pay the most expensive one. There is no doubt that in places like KTV, red wine packages are of course much more expensive than beer. Shall we too drink some wine? After hearing what Qin Feng said, Mai was stunned at first, then a smile appeared on her face unconsciously, and she said to Qin Feng with a smile. If nothing else, as a girl in a nightclub, Mai would naturally prefer to drink red wine rather than beer. But she didn't expect that Qin Feng, who came alone, would actually want to order a red wine set menu. After all, their wine package is much more expensive than the beer package and is suitable for multiple people. Well, red wine. Qin Feng smiled and nodded. Then Brother Feng, how about we get the 1000 yuan red wine package, which comes with a bottle of premium red wine and 24 small bottles of beer. If we get tired of drinking red wine, we can use beer caps to top it up. There are also drinks and snacks. This is great. Then Mai looked into Qin Feng's eyes and carefully recommended to him the cheapest red wine package in the store, which was worth $1,000. Because she felt that Qin Feng's attire, and the $7 box of red Golden Dragon cigarettes he smoked, did not make him look like a very wealthy customer. Although Mai is the girl above the moon, she should try to make more money for the store, but she is not a bad person and cannot trick customers into spending unnecessary money, especially those who are not financially strong. Mai thought so, but Qin Feng's next words were far beyond her expectations. If not this, what is the most expensive drink package in our restaurant? Unexpectedly, after hearing her words, Qin Feng just smiled slightly, shook his head gently, and spoke slowly. He said that he didn't even bother with the so-called lowest-end wine package at 1000 yuan. If he was going to drink today, he would drink the most expensive one, or not drink at all. The most expensive? The most expensive drink package in our restaurant is worth $10,000. It includes a bottle of high-end Hennessy red wine, as well as other alcoholic beverages, fruit plates, and so on. Although the quality and quantity are good, it is not cost-effective to order that if there are only 2 of us, so let's not come. If you want to drink red wine, I will ask for a 1000 yuan set meal in the group now, not something that expensive. Mai quickly shook her head and said to Qin Feng. Arfei, bring a Hennessy drink package to my room, quickly. But unexpectedly, Qin Feng didn't give Mai this chance at all. He immediately took out his mobile phone and sent a WeChat message to Arfei. Little did I know that when I heard Mai say that the most expensive drink and beverage package on the moon cost $10,000 apiece, my heart was already beaming with joy. You know, that's $10,000. He can get a cashback of $100,000 by ordering one. He directly completed the cashback target he originally set for tonight. How could he not feel sincerely happy? Okay, Brother Feng, I'll come up to you right away. 1 Hennessy set meal in room 308. After hearing Qin Feng's words, Arfei also quickly responded. After Qin Feng ordered the Hennessy set meal, Mai, who was sitting next to him, was still in a daze. She couldn't help but stretch out her eyes and secretly look Qin Feng up and down. No matter how she looked at it, Qin Feng didn't seem like a particularly rich man. Moreover, the cigarettes she smoked were red Golden Dragon cigarettes that cost 7 yuan a pack. Even the cigarettes smoked by a girl like her were much more expensive than Qin Feng's. Could it be that Qin Feng is a hidden rich second generation who just likes to keep a low profile? Mai thought about it and this was the only explanation. Come on, Mai. It's our first time meeting. Show me your WeChat payment code and I'll send you a red envelope. I don't mean anything else. Meeting is fate. It's not easy for you. Thank you for your hard work tonight. And then, something happened that Mai had never expected. Less than a minute after she sat down, Qin Feng actually asked her to take out the payment code and wanted to send her a red envelope. Although she was moved by Qin Feng's enthusiasm and generosity, she felt that she was really lucky today to meet such a good and handsome guy. But to be honest, she couldn't accept Qin Feng's actions. Although she can accept this red envelope, she still understands the principle of playing the long game to catch the big fish. It's not nice to ask for a red envelope from someone you just met. The best thing to do is to keep Qin Feng's heart and let him come to you more often in the future. No, Brother Feng, we ordered such an expensive set meal, so you don't have to give me a red envelope. I hope Brother Feng enjoys drinking tonight, that's Mei Mei's greatest honor. As Mai Mai spoke, she quickly took the phone that was on the table, put it in her pocket, and shook her head righteously at Qin Feng. Looking at Mei Mei's expression and reaction, Qin Feng was also a little surprised. He was also dumbfounded and a little at a loss. If for no other reason, he just ordered the most expensive drink set menu on the moon, which is worth $10,000. But he only had 1,970 yuan in his bank card, not even enough to buy a small portion of the Hennessy meal. He would be embarrassed when he went down to pay the bill, so he had to swipe his bank card balance to more than 10,000 yuan before he left. The simplest and fastest way is to send a red envelope to the Mai Mai in front of you. No Mai Mai. If you don't accept it today, I will leave and I won't take the Hennessy set meal anymore. Qin Feng then spoke firmly to Mai Mai while pretending to put on his coat. And if Mai Mai doesn't accept it, then he might really have to leave today. After all, he only had more than 1,900 yuan in his card, which was not enough to pay for the Hennessy meal worth more than 10,000 yuan. No, big brother, can't I take it? But don't give me too much, just give me a few dozen dollars, just for my own good, so that I can get a good start. Seeing that Qin Feng was about to leave, Mai Mai had no choice but to take out her payment code and stop Qin Feng. She didn't expect Qin Feng to be so stubborn. He would do what he said he would do. He is indeed a king-like man. She likes it. Unconsciously, Mei Mei's affection for Qin Feng rose to a higher level. That is the attachment to their domineering president deep in every woman's heart. Chapter 8: Achieving Master Level Singing Skills. Okay, that's right. Mai Mai, just remember that women don't have to do anything in their lives. The only thing they need to do is to be obedient. Qin Feng also breathed a sigh of relief, opened WeChat and scanned the beautiful payment code, then entered a string of numbers on it. 888 yuan received via WeChat. The next second, a crisp notification sound came from Mei Mei's mobile phone. Hearing this voice, Mai Mai was completely stunned. When I saw the huge sum of 888 yuan received on my mobile phone, I was completely stunned. She originally thought that Qin Feng giving her an 88 yuan red envelope was already the best he could do. After all, if the guests who come here to play give the girls extra red envelopes, the maximum amount is only 100 yuan. No one has ever given out such a huge sum of money as Qin Feng, nearly 1,000 yuan at one time. The 888 yuan was more than her 2 hours stage fee. She earns about 200 yuan for 2 hours on the stage, which is equivalent to 100 yuan per hour. Brother Feng, isn't the red envelope you sent me too big? Did you send it to the wrong person? If you did, I will forward it back to you now. Mai Mai thought that Qin Feng had sent the message by mistake, so she accidentally pressed an extra 8 and pretended to open the QR code to send it back to Qin Feng. No Mai Mai, this is the red envelope I transferred to you, there is nothing wrong with it. Qin Feng waved his hand and said with a smile. 88 yuan. Qin Feng could afford it before, but now that he has a tenfold cashback system, he can't afford it at all. What he just wanted to buy for Mai Mai was the genuine 888 yuan. At this moment, the cell phone in his pocket suddenly vibrated. If nothing unexpected happened, the cashback from the system should have arrived in his account. Then, with his hands trembling with excitement, he quietly took out his mobile phone from his pocket and turned his head to take a look. I suddenly discovered that it was indeed true. Dear ICBC customer Mr. Qin, your bank card with the last number 4419 has just received a transfer of 8,880 yuan, and the current account balance is 9,962 yuan. I saw that because of my small operation just now, the balance in my bank card account suddenly soared to 9,962 yuan, and was about to break the 10,000 yuan mark. How could Qin Feng not feel deeply happy in his heart? He almost regretted that he gave Mai Mai too little tip just now. If he had given her more, the balance in his bank card would have exceeded 10,000 yuan by now. But it doesn't matter. The road is long and the night is deep. In the next few hours, he still has a chance to increase his bank card balance to over 10,000 yuan. Brother Feng, your Hennessy set meal is here. Soon, our Fei outside brought over the Hennessy set meal Qin Feng ordered, which was worth 10,000 oceans. There was a bottle of Hennessy red wine, several boxes of beer, as well as a fruit plate, snacks, drinks, etc., filling up the entire table. It can be said that it was good value for money and the $10,000 was not spent in vain. Brother Feng, I'm glad to meet you today. Thank you for choosing me and for sending me a red envelope of 888 yuan. My won't say much, just spin one first as a token of respect. Then my stood up, picked up a small bottle of Harbin beer on the table, opened it with her teeth, then raised it above her head, shook it violently a few times, and then tilted her head back to drink it all in one gulp. The whole process takes less than 3 seconds. Call. Awesome, awesome. Seeing this, Qin Feng couldn't help but take a breath and wanted to give Mai a thumbs up. I have to say that the girl he chose today is really amazing. Not only is she pretty, but she is also good at drinking. She is exactly the type he wants in his heart. Come on, Mai, you've worked hard, take a break first, we'll drink later. Then Qin Feng waved at Mai, indicating that she should sit next to him and not be too restrained. Congratulations to their host. The nightclub girl Mai has reached the primary admiration value for the host, and has now obtained master-level singing skills. She has automatically merged into their host's body and does not need to be extracted. At this moment, a system voice suddenly came from Qin Feng's mind. Hearing this voice, Qin Feng was completely stunned. It was not for any other reason, but because he originally thought that the system he obtained simply had the function of cashback after making money, and there were no other additional rewards. But it was not until he heard the voice just now that he realized that the super counterattack system he was bound to had functions for more than just 10 times the cashback for making money. There were other even more wonderful things. What did the system just say? He had obtained master-level singing skills because the nightclub girl Mai had reached the primary level of admiration for him. I have to say, if this skill was really awarded to him, it would be extremely awesome. You know, although it is true that Qin Feng is a first-class handsome guy, he is really not very good at singing, which is his weakness. In the past, whenever he went to KTV with his friends, he always chose not to sing because he didn't want to embarrass himself in front of his friends. But now it's different. If he really has acquired master-level singing skills, it means that every song he sings now will no longer be the same as before. But it's a brand new him, an awesome singer with master-level singing skills. Brother Feng, how about you sing a song to warm up the audience? I'll sing whatever you want. Just as Qin Feng was about to order a song to see if he really had master-level singing skills, unexpectedly, Mai suddenly ran to the song ordering station and said to Qin Feng with a smile. Okay, then please play a song, 7 Friends for me. I don't sing very well, please don't be offended. In that case, Qin Feng could only obey orders. He scratched his head and said to Mai with a smile. It's okay. Brother Feng comes here just to have fun. Singing is secondary. Let's drink after Brother Feng finishes singing. Unexpectedly, after hearing Qin Feng's words, Mai took it seriously and really thought that Qin Feng couldn't sing very well. Little did he know that that was just the Qin Feng of the past. Qin Feng's current singing level is not much inferior even if he stands in front of professional singers. After Mai ordered a song for Qin Feng, not long after, a melodious melody rang out in the KTV room. The song 7 Friends is a Cantonese song that Qin Feng has always liked, but he has never sung it in a KTV. One reason is that his singing skills are not good. Secondly, he is not from Guangdong and his Cantonese is not good either. At the moment, he doesn't know whether he, with his master-level singing skills, can sing this classic Cantonese song well. Chapter 9. Does he sing so well? To be honest, Mai was not that excited about Qin Feng's singing from the very beginning. In Mei's opinion, Qin Feng is definitely a unique handsome man in the world. He looks so handsome and compelling. Any normal girl in the world would feel excited, with her heartbeat speeding up and her adrenaline rushing in front of Qin Feng. If such an epic handsome guy is also an amazing singer, wouldn't that leave no room for other men? Mai didn't believe that Qin Feng's singing could be as amazing as his appearance, but what she didn't expect was that she was amazed the moment Qin Feng opened his mouth. She stared at Qin Feng in amazement, with her eyes wide open and her mouth wide open. She couldn't imagine that such a nice voice came from the mouth of the man sitting next to her. If Mai hadn't pressed the backing song for Qin Feng in advance, she would have thought that Qin Feng was singing the original version. For her, I force myself to talk about love, and cheer myself up to comfort others. If it is difficult to reconcile, let go as soon as possible. Take things easy and then say it again, you can still love yourself even if you don't have a lover. forget about it or feel sad for yourself. Laughing at those who are sinking into the sea of suffering will do harm. Not to mention Mai, even Qin Feng was amazed by the sound he made when he opened his mouth. This is completely different from the feeling he had before he acquired master-level singing skills. In the past, when he sang, even if he tried his best, he might not be able to sing well. Just now, he hardly put in any effort and just sang casually, yet he had already sung the feeling of the song to the extreme. That kind of sadness, that deep and sexy voice, is even better than the original singer. Fuck. I didn't expect Feng Ges singing to be so beautiful. At this moment, even our Fei, who was standing in the corridor above the moon, couldn't help but shudder and said in disbelief after hearing the melodious voice coming from room 308. I can't believe that the song just now was sung by Qin Feng. To be honest, Qin Feng had sung a song once when he came here before, and it happened to be heard by a Fei. If he remembered correctly, the song Qin Feng sang that time was The Sea by Zhang Yushin. How could he describe the feeling Qin Feng's singing gave him at that time? It's hard to put into words. But when he heard it again, our Fei felt completely different. Only then did I realize that Qin Feng was just pretending when he came with his friends before. Only in front of the girl he likes will Qin Feng take his singing attitude seriously and show off his singing voice. Not only our Fei, but even the three girls who had just walked out of private room 308 and were standing in the corridor above the moon waiting to choose a channel were also shocked after hearing Qin Feng singing. Then his gaze unconsciously drifted towards room 308. He was filled with envy and jealousy for the fact that Mai could accompany Qin Feng today. I envy Mai for having such great luck tonight. She is so lucky to be able to accompany a man like Qin Feng who is both handsome and talented, and seems to have quite a lot of money in his pocket. Because I was strong enough to use my own pain and transform it into love to offset my worry for her, I had forgotten that I also had the right to love. Who has ever cared about my feelings, treated me tenderly, and kissed my wounds? The consolation you can get is that you are grateful for the loyal dog after a breakup. Whoever cared that I was not feeling well, stood up for me, or touched my hand? Those who are reborn have all left, so who will worry about the angels? There are no sweet words, but there is a good friend like me. On the other side, in private room 308, Qin Feng's song, 7 Friends, was still in full swing. After acquiring master-level singing skills, it can be said that Qin Feng became more and more excited and enthusiastic the more he sang. His singing sounded as if it was assisted by God. Mai, who was standing beside him, was so fascinated by the story that she got goosebumps all over her body. Even his Cantonese, which he normally couldn't speak well, sounded exceptionally standard when he sang. Qin Feng's song, 7 Friends, at this time is even better than the original. It really captures the feeling of being sad and helpless. Needless to say, this is the fact and there is nothing wrong with it. It's not for anything else, it's just because in addition to Qin Feng's master-level singing skills, Qin Feng's singing of this song at this moment also contains emotion. Whenever he thought about what happened with Liu Yu in the past 3 months, he felt extremely sad and resentful. The resentment was not because of Liu Yu, but because of himself. Since he already knew the ending and understood the value of the phrase, if you can't hold the sand, just throw it away, why couldn't he make a decision earlier and break up with Liu Yu in advance and end this relationship that shouldn't have been together in the first place? Instead, we should wait for the latter to bring it up, and then embarrass him in front of so many people at the school gate. No matter what, Qin Feng felt that it was because he had no ability. Not only that, he also lacked the mind and vision, let alone the ambition and determination of a man. But Qin Feng swore that from now on, everything would be different. He is no longer the indecisive and hesitant self of the past, but a brand new Qin Feng. Next, he will use his actual actions to tell everyone and that bitch Liu Yu that he, Qin Feng, is definitely a true king. Before they knew it, 3 minutes had passed and Qin Feng's classic song, 7 Friends, had been sung to its end. At this time, the huge private room 308 was silent. Qin Feng came back to his senses, turned his head and glanced at Mai who was sitting next to him. He found that the latter had been sitting there motionless since some time ago, just staring at him blankly with tears in his eyes. What's wrong, Mai? Is it because I sang too badly? Seeing Mei's expression, Qin Feng was somewhat confused. He picked up a glass of Hennessy that had been poured on the table long ago, put it to his mouth, and asked Mai with a smile. Then he raised his head and drank the red wine in the glass in one gulp. Brother Buffon, you sang so beautifully. This is the best song, 7 Friends, I have ever heard. After a moment, Mai Mai looked at Qin Feng, shook her head vigorously and said. It was indeed as Mai Mai said. She had heard other customers singing Seven Friends when she was at work before. But compared with Qin Feng's singing of Seven Friends, how should I put it? Even if all the people added together, they are not as good as a single leg hair of Qin Feng. Come on, brother Feng, I'll play another one. I wish you a good time tonight. Then, without any hesitation, Mai Mai picked up a bottle of Xiao Harbin on the table, tilted her head back, raised it above her head, and drank a bottle of beer in 3 seconds. Chapter 10 88 Transfer. Mei Mei's drinking posture really scared Qin Feng. When going to KTV to drink, Qin Feng's favorite thing to watch is girls spinning the bottle. But in fact, after so many times going to nightclubs, he rarely saw girls spinning the bottle. After all, it is relatively rare for girls to perform such extreme operations as spinning the bottle. In most cases, you need to insert the banknotes into the mouth of the bottle before the other party will spin it. At this time, he and Mai Mai had only been drinking for less than 20 minutes when she finished 2 bottles of beer in succession, which made Qin Feng want to give Mai Mai a tip again. One was that he wanted to pay for the 2 bottles of beer that Mai Mai had just shown off. The second reason is that I want to increase the balance in my bank card. After all, he only had more than 9,000 yuan in his account, which was not enough to pay all the bills for his consumption on the moon today. So it is reasonable for him to give Mai Mai some more tips. Mai Mai, meeting is fate. I want to add you on WeChat, is that convenient? Then Qin Feng took out his cell phone and asked Mai Mai with a smile. I decided to wait until I added Mai Mai on WeChat before transferring the money to her. If you ask Mai Mai to take out the payment code at this time, she will most likely refuse. Okay, brother Feng. I couldn't ask for more. When Mai Mai heard that Qin Feng wanted to add him on WeChat, she seemed extremely excited. She quickly took out her mobile phone and showed her WeChat business card to Qin Feng. In fact, Mai Mai wanted to add Qin Feng on WeChat from the moment they met. But he didn't say it out loud for fear of seeming abrupt, and planned to bring it up to Qin Feng after 3 rounds of drinks. Unexpectedly, Qin Feng took the initiative to bring it up, which surprised Mai Mai, so she quickly seized the opportunity. My name is Qin Feng, you can just call me often, Mai Mai. Soon, the two added each other on WeChat. Qin Feng's nickname for Mai Mai is Mai Mai. Mai Mai added the nickname Brother Feng to Qin Feng. Mai Mai, this is our first meeting, so I don't have anything to give you. I'll just give you another red envelope as a token of my appreciation. Thank you for your company on this night when I'm heartbroken. After adding WeChat, Qin Feng knew that it was time to proceed to the next step. He first looked up at Mai Mai and said. Without any hesitation, he immediately opened the transfer interface and transferred 8,888 yuan to Mai Mai. This time there is one more 8 than at the beginning, which is almost $10,000. Looking at the sudden transfer of 8,888 on her mobile phone, Mai Mai was completely at a loss. He stared at the phone interface with eyes wide open and mouth agape. For a moment he was shocked and at a loss. Brother Feng, you just transferred 8,888 to me. Mai Mai looked at the dazzling 8,888 transfer number on WeChat and asked Qin Feng with an incredulous look on her face. She couldn't believe it. The amount Qin Feng transferred to her was a 4-digit number, 8888. These 4 figures are almost as much as her monthly salary. Please take it, Mai Mai. I don't mean anything else. It's just a small token of my appreciation. Don't get me wrong. Then Qin Feng said to Mai Mai. He was a little worried that Mai Mai would misunderstand what he meant. After all, if a customer sends a red envelope of such a large amount to a girl in a nightclub, it probably has a purpose. Qin Feng was afraid that Mai Mai would think that he wanted to take her out to sleep, so she didn't dare to accept the transfer, and hurriedly added. Qin Feng really had no intention of taking Mai Mai out to sleep. I just did that operation simply for the cashback. After all the money he spent in the nightclub would be returned to his bank card tenfold. I know Brother Feng, you don't mean anything else, Brother Feng is not that kind of person. But the amount you transferred to me is too large, nearly 10,000 yuan, I can't accept it. After hearing what Qin Feng said, Mai Mai quickly shook her head and said. After saying that, he pretended to click on the refund button. She understood that Qin Feng had no extra thoughts about her. After all, from the time she met Qin Feng until now, Qin Feng had never done anything to her, and had always kept an ambiguous but polite distance from her. Based on this point alone, Mai can judge that Qin Feng is different from other men and is definitely a gentleman. The 888 yuan I transferred to her was simply out of my love for her. But again, 88 is too much, she can't take it. Seeing that Mai was about to return the money to her, Qin Feng became a little anxious. He quickly snatched Mei's mobile phone, pressed the payment button, and directly collected the huge sum of 88 for Mai. After receiving it, Qin Feng breathed a sigh of relief, knowing that he had a source of money to pay for tonight's bill. As Qin Feng expected, after he received the huge sum of 8,888 for Mai, the cell phone in his pocket vibrated immediately. If nothing unexpected happens, it is most likely that the cash rebate from the system has been received by him. When he quietly took out his mobile phone and took a look, he was shocked to find that it was true. It was a message sent to him by Industrial and Commercial Bank of China 95588. Dear ICBC user Mr. Qin, your bank card with the last number 4419 has just received a transfer of 88,880 yuan, and the current balance is 89,954. Looking at the balance of his bank card, which had increased from less than 10,000 yuan to more than 80,000 yuan in the blink of an eye, Qin Feng was almost so excited that he almost flew away. He just sent a transfer of 8,888 to Mai, and the system directly returned him 88,880 yuan. The balance in his bank card is now enough for him to pay the bill when he goes downstairs. It turns out that the more you spend, the more you get back. It seems that he must increase his spending in nightclubs so that he can drive a Maybach soon. When he comes in 2 days, he will drive the Maybach directly over and park the car at the door. After drinking, he will drive Mai out for a midnight snack. How cool that will be. However, the Maybach costs nearly 2 million yuan, and he only has a pitiful 90,000 yuan in his bank account. So he still needs to continue to increase his consumption. As the saying goes, there is a long way to go and a heavy task to be accomplished. This is exactly what I said, and there is nothing wrong with it. Brother Feng, you transferred so much money to me, I don't know how to repay you. No matter what you ask for, as long as it is within my ability, I will satisfy you. Come, I'll sing another one to thank Brother Feng for loving me so much. After receiving the 8888 transfer from Qin Feng, Mai was already flattered and didn't know how to repay Qin Feng's kindness, so she quickly picked up a bottle of beer on the table. And then it shone again within 3 seconds. In fact, Mai's meaning just now was very clear, that is, even if Qin Feng proposed to take her out tonight, she would be willing to go. Even though she had been working in the nightclub for so long, Mai had never gone out with a customer alone, let alone done anything shameful. Although she works in a nightclub, Mai knows that she is different from others and she is a principled person. It is definitely not possible to make her submit by simply using money. But Qin Feng is different in her heart. Chapter 11: Obtaining Full-Level Athletic Ability. It's not just because Qin Feng is handsome, but also because of his unique masculine charm. The feeling Qin Feng gives her is different from everyone else. It was also something she had never seen in anyone else in her life. The most important thing is that Qin Feng is handsome but not messy. And from Qin Feng's words just now, Mai caught a key piece of information, that is, Qin Feng went to the moon alone to drink tonight because he was heartbroken. This way, wouldn't it be exactly what she wanted? Mai is not a casual woman. If a man wants to have a relationship with her, he must be single, not married, and not have a girlfriend. There is no doubt that Qin Feng meets her requirements. Seeing how young Qin Feng looks, he must be single. Mai is definitely not a woman who is willing to destroy other people's families. On the other hand, Qin Feng was somewhat surprised after hearing Mei's words. After all, he is a man in his 20s and his IQ is still high. How could he not understand the meaning of Mei's words just now? But the same thing goes, Qin Feng came here today and gave Mai a tip of nearly 10,000 yuan without any ulterior motive. He just wanted to find someone to drink with him, get drunk, and get some cash back from the system. Nothing else to ask for. Come on, Mai, have a drink. Seeing this, Qin Feng picked up the red wine glass on the table, tilted his head back, took another big gulp, and changed the subject. Seeing that Qin Feng did not respond to her words, Mai couldn't help but blush, and hurriedly picked up the red wine glass on the table and took a sip with Qin Feng. She knew that she was a little impulsive just now. As a girl, she shouldn't be so straightforward. Some things are better said by men. Mai, sing a song too. Then Qin Feng turned around and said to Mai Mai with a smile. Less than half an hour after coming in, Mai Mai had drunk a lot of wine, but she hadn't sung a single song yet. On the one hand, Qin Feng wanted to listen to Mei Mei's singing, and on the other hand, he also wanted to slow down the pace of their drinking. Compared with the girls who have been working in nightclubs for many years, he is somewhat unable to hold his alcohol tolerance. Over the years, Qin Feng has always adhered to one principle when drinking, that is, drink well but not drink too much. You can get drunk, but not get too drunk. Otherwise, it is easy to lose composure and expose your ugliest side. Oh, okay, brother Feng. Then I will sing a song, I Only Care About You. This song is for you. After hearing what Qin Feng said, Mai Mai stood up with a smile, went to the song request desk, and requested a classic song by Teresa Teng, I Only Care About You. Soon, a melodious tune sounded in private room 308. These two guys are having a great time. It seems that my brother Feng is quite satisfied with Mai Mai. At this time, outside the door of private room 308, Arfei quietly lay on the small glass at the door of the room, looking at the smiles on Qin Feng and Mei Mei's faces, and talked to himself. He guessed that Qin Feng probably liked Mai Mai very much. This would be the best. If there is a girl he likes and is proud of on the moon, then Qin Feng can come here often in the future. In this way, he will surely earn a lot of tips. It can be said that when it comes to money, she and Mai Mai are common interests. The key is to make arrangements for Big Brother together. Where would I be if I hadn't met you? How your life is going and whether you should cherish your life. Maybe you know someone who lives an ordinary life. I don't know if there is love that is as sweet as honey. No matter how time flies by, I only care about you and am willing to be infected by your breath. In the room, Mai Mai took the initiative to hold Qin Feng's hand, looked into his eyes, and sang seriously. Although she knew that her singing voice was not that good, Qin Feng should understand her inner attitude towards him through this song. Congratulations to their host, the nightclub girl Mei Mei's intermediate admiration value has reached the standard, and the host has unlocked the full level athletic ability, and the running speed and endurance value have been increased to SSS+. Just as Qin Feng was concentrating on listening to Mai Mai singing the song, suddenly a system voice came into his mind again. What he didn't expect was that less than 20 minutes after Mei Mei's love for him reached the primary level, the nightclub girl Mei Mei's love for him also reached the intermediate level and unlocked a new system reward for him. Although Qin Feng didn't understand how the levels of admiration were divided, he understood that Mei Mei's affection for him must have deepened, otherwise the system would not have provided him with new skills. Looking at the newly unlocked reward given to him by the system, Qin Feng couldn't help but shout in his heart, "Fuck! Isn't this exactly what he wanted?" You know, tomorrow is Harbour University's annual summer sports meeting. Since there were fewer male students in the department and their athletic abilities were generally poor, he was forced to sign up for a series of track and field running events including 400 meters and 800 meters. It doesn't matter that he can't get a good ranking for the department in tomorrow's sports meet. After all, their department has ranked last in the overall results in the sports meet for 3 consecutive years, and this year is not a bad year. But it's embarrassing in front of all the teachers and students in the school. You know, tomorrow Harbour University will hold its summer sports meeting, and a number of teachers and students, including the president, will participate, with up to 10,000 spectators. What if he failed in front of the whole school? From now on, where will he put his reputation as the most handsome man in Harbour University? But he wasn't worried right now. After all, the system has unlocked top-level athletic ability for him, and increased his running speed and endurance to SSS+. In this way, he will surely be able to win the hearts of a group of schoolgirls at the sports meeting tomorrow. Mai Mai, you sing so beautifully. Not long after, Mai Mai finished singing I Only Care About You, and Qin Feng stretched out his hands and applauded enthusiastically. This is indeed the case. Mei Mei's singing voice is just like her name, so beautiful and melodious, even better than Miss Deng's. Brother Feng, thank you for the compliment. Your singing is so beautiful. After hearing Qin Feng's praise, a big smile immediately appeared on Mei Mei's face. She raised the wine glass in her hand, tilted her head back, and took another big gulp. If someone else praises her, Mai Mai may not feel happy. But if it was Qin Feng, it would be different. Chapter 12. How about we go out for a midnight snack after drinking? When Mai Mai took a big gulp of the beer on the table, Qin Feng also picked up his beer and drank the remaining half bottle in one gulp. Since Mai Mai came in, Qin Feng drank 3 bottles of beer and half a glass of red wine in about half an hour. Logically speaking, after drinking all that wine, he would be a little bit intoxicated and confused. After all, Qin Feng has never been an expert in drinking. He can drink a few more bottles just to make up for the lack of alcohol in certain occasions, but in most cases he is just a novice. But today is different. After drinking these bottles of wine, Qin Feng not only did not feel confused, but became more sober. Getting to the bottom of the matter, Qin Feng felt that it might really be true what the saying goes, that is, people feel refreshed when good things happen to them. After school tonight, not only did he see through Liu Yu, a materialistic bitch, but he also obtained a super counterattack system that could change his life. In addition to receiving up to 10 times the cash rebate for consumption in nightclubs, when the girl accompanying him in the nightclub reaches a certain level of admiration for him, he will also receive additional rewards. It is truly amazing. In this case, Qin Feng knew that from now on, there was only one word left in his life, and that was, shell. As long as you don't die from the knocks, you'll keep knocking until you die. Love whoever you want, no face at all. That's just what I said, there's nothing wrong with it, not a single mistake at all. Come on, my, have another sip. I'd like to toast to the extremely beautiful song I Only Care About You sang just now, and also to our acquaintance today. There is a long way to go. After we have known each other for a long time, you will know what kind of person I, Qin Feng, am. Absolutely no problem. Thinking of this, Qin Feng picked up another bottle of Xiao Harbin beer on the table without any hesitation, raised his head, and took a big gulp. In fact, after Mai finished singing the beautiful song, I Only Care About You, he should have taken out his mobile phone and given Mai a reward. But Qin Feng did not do so. After all, he had just given Mai 2 waves of rewards in a row, totaling nearly 10,000 yuan. Even if you have money, you must know how to spend it. You must never spend money like a fool. Otherwise, no matter how open-minded and rich you are, in the eyes of others, you are at best a fool and have no dignity at all. Qin Feng naturally didn't want to be seen as a fool with a lot of money, so he restrained the urge to continue rewarding Mai. Although he really wanted to increase the balance in his bank card as soon as possible so that he could drive a Maybach as soon as possible. But the same thing goes, money cannot be spent indiscriminately. It only makes sense if you spend the right amount of money at the right time. Otherwise, it will only backfire. Come on, Brother Feng, I'll toast you again. Mai, I'm so lucky to meet Brother Feng tonight. Maybe this is the fate between us, and it is also God's favor to me. This cup, we toast to fate and to God. After Mai drank a glass of wine, she raised the glass in her hand again and said to Qin Feng with a smile. Although she was already red in the face from drinking, she had to admit that today was definitely the happiest day for Mai since she entered the nightclub. Not for anything else, just because she met Qin Feng. A man who made her extremely surprised and satisfied from the inside out. Not only is he handsome, he is also extremely generous. The tip she received alone was as high as 10,000 yuan, which is almost as much as her monthly salary. How could Mai not feel from the bottom of her heart that she had met her destined lover? And this person was none other than Qin Feng, who was sitting next to her. Brother Feng, if you have nothing to do after drinking, why don't we go out for a meal? I know there's a new restaurant in the harbor that's pretty good. Don't worry, Brother Feng, I don't need you to tip me. I just want to have a midnight snack with Brother Feng. I am willing to do this. After drinking a big gulp of wine, Mai suppressed her heart that was beating wildly due to the alcohol, leaned over to Qin Feng's ear, and whispered. This was the first time she had taken the initiative to talk to a customer since she entered the nightclub. Because before this, she had gone out with guests for a midnight snack after drinking. Of course, it is limited to having a midnight snack and does not include other things. And when eating out, the guests are required to give additional tips, and she also has to consider whether the guests are good or not. If it's not good, Mai will never go out with the other party no matter how much money he gives her. But Qin Feng is different. Even if Qin Feng didn't give her a penny, she would be willing to go out with Qin Feng for a midnight snack. Even if Qin Feng suggested something excessive, she would have no regrets. She believed that she would not make a mistake. Qin Feng is definitely different from all men. The kind that only exists in this world. After hearing Mei's words, Qin Feng couldn't help but feel a palpitation deep in his heart. It was not for any other reason, but because the few times before that he and his friends came to play on the moon, they had suggested going out for a midnight snack after singing. Of course, it was not he who said this, but his friend. He also gave a red envelope of 200 yuan to each girl who was willing to go out, and those girls all accepted it. But later, when they arrived at the entrance of Above the Moon, they saw the grey and black Volkswagen Sagittar covered in mud, and they immediately shook their heads and returned the money they had collected. Thinking of this, Qin Feng couldn't help but shudder and suddenly returned to reality. My, let us talk about it later. We can do it some other day. Let's drink today and get drunk. Then Qin Feng raised the wine glass in his hand and said to Mai with a smile. In fact, Qin Feng was willing to go out with Mai tonight to find a place to have a midnight snack after drinking, so that they could talk about their true feelings in another place. But when he thought of the embarrassing experience last time, Qin Feng felt a little chilly. No matter how poor his friend was, at least he had a Sagittar sedan. Yet he had not a single hair of cruelty. After drinking here, you will be drunk and need to call an online taxi to go out. The appearance is more or less worse. So Qin Feng thought that it would be better to postpone the dinner with Mai to next time. Wait until his bank card balance is enough for him to buy a car. Not to mention a Maybach, even a Mercedes-Benz E-Class worth 500,000 yuan is quite good. Mai sat in the passenger seat, and he drove the car, taking her to have some midnight snack together. It was much better than calling an online taxi. The fact is just the fact, and the situation is just the situation. There is nothing wrong with it. Chapter 13: The Coming Kiss. Well, okay then, Brother Feng, I'll listen to you. After hearing Qin Feng's answer, Mei's face, which was originally filled with a big smile, suddenly became lonely. Originally, she thought that Qin Feng would do as she expected. After their drinking party on the moon today, they would go out for a midnight snack and get to know each other in another place. But from what Qin Feng said just now, it was obvious that he didn't have this idea, which was more or less a surprise to Mai. At the same time, her deep affection for Qin Feng increased a little bit. After all, what you can't get will always cause you trouble. It was the first time in her life, especially in a nightclub, that she was rejected by a customer. I believe that if any other guest except Qin Feng heard what she just said, they would agree to it immediately. Any hesitation or not taking advantage of an opportunity would be disrespectful to yourself. But Qin Feng is an exception. Perhaps this kind of man is the legendary gentleman. Even when spending money at a nightclub, they just drink and sing, without any other extra thoughts or ideas. Little did people know that Qin Feng didn't want to take Mai out at night, but he just felt that the time was not right yet. After some time, when the balance on his bank card accumulates to a certain level, at least enough for him to go to the Mercedes-Benz 4S dealer to pick up an E300, he can then invite Mai to spend money at places other than the karaoke bar, which will be more impressive. Although he believed that Mai was not a girl who valued material things very much, she was fundamentally different from people like Liu Yu. But no matter what, Mai works in a nightclub after all, so it is inevitable that she has different thoughts and ideas from other girls. So the proper appearance should still be there. To put it bluntly, Qin Feng just didn't want Mai to be disappointed in him. Time flies. In the blink of an eye, it was September 2nd, 1:30 in the morning. Before he knew it, it had been nearly 5 hours since Qin Feng entered the moon to consume. During these 5 hours, he and Mai drank almost a box of wine, including 24 small bottles of Harbin and a bottle of Hennessy. These wines have far exceeded Qin Feng's limit. If it were in the past, he would not be able to drink them at all. But maybe I am really happy today. He couldn't wait to go downstairs, pay for all the consumption today, and then walk out of the KTV to appreciate the wonderful changes in the balance of his bank card. Mai, that's about it for today. I drank a little too much, but I'm very happy. It won't be long before I come back to see you again. Next time, we'll drink more. After this, I will treat you to a midnight snack and a chat somewhere else. Then Qin Feng, who was sitting on the big sofa above the moon, raised his hand, looked at the Casio watch on his wrist worth 1,000 oceans, and said to Mai with a smile. It means that we will stop here for today and we will meet again next time if we are lucky. Of course, what Qin Feng can be sure of is that his fate with Mai is far from over. After some time, when he gets a Maybach, he will definitely come to see her again. At least he had to let this beautiful nightclub girl in front of him feel the warmth of the passenger seat of his car. It's definitely different from other men. Okay then, Brother Feng, remember to come see me as soon as possible. Otherwise, I'm worried that if it takes too long, I'll miss you. Seeing that Qin Feng had decided to leave, Mai knew that it was difficult for her to stop him. After all, she could see that Qin Feng was really drunk. If she drank any more, not only Qin Feng, but even she would vomit here. So it's time to end today's drinking party and go back to rest. Just as Qin Feng was about to stand up and leave, he suddenly found that Mai closed her eyes and put her lips towards him. Seeing this scene, Qin Feng was stunned for a moment, and his whole body shook unconsciously. The alcohol in the drink was almost sobered up at this moment. It was not for any other reason, but because he was also a man. The moment Mai made this move, he understood what the latter wanted to do to him. It was nothing more than a kiss. But to be honest, although he had kissed other girls in his life, Qin Feng was really not expecting the kiss that was about to come. Because from the beginning to the end, he never thought of taking advantage of this nightclub girl named Mai, and he didn't even touch her hand. What he didn't expect was that when the two of them finished drinking together today, the latter would actually close her eyes and choose to kiss him actively. Although Qin Feng is a man, he will definitely not suffer any loss if he kisses Mai. But he is not a casual man. He will not kiss or go to bed with a woman casually. Only the person who truly enters his heart can do it. Faced with the impending kiss, Qin Feng was somewhat at a loss. He just stood there, motionless. Because he felt that it would be a bit weird if he accepted the kiss. But if I choose to hide now, I'm afraid of hurting Mai's feelings. After all, if a girl takes the initiative to kiss you, it definitely proves that you are in her heart. Just when Qin Feng felt he didn't know what to do, he suddenly felt a gentle touch on his lips, accompanied by a scorching burn. In a flash, Mai kissed Qin Feng's lips. While Qin Feng was still in a daze and hadn't come to his senses, this feeling had disappeared. Mai blushed and lowered her head. The whole process takes less than a second. Qin Feng's cheeks also began to feel a little hot. For Qin Feng, the kiss just now, although not his first kiss, was better than his first kiss. Because this feeling was too wonderful and too exciting for him. This was the first time he kissed a girl in a KTV. And she's a girl from a nightclub. When this feeling ended, Qin Feng found himself feeling a little reluctant and even wanted it to happen again. Come on, let us go downstairs, Mai. I drank too much today. After that light kiss just now, the temperature in the entire private room seemed to have inexplicably risen by several degrees, making Qin Feng a little breathless. Then he took Mei's arm and pulled her out the door. At this time, Mai began to walk unsteadily. If it weren't for Qin Feng's support, she would have probably fallen to the ground. So while going down the stairs, she leaned on Qin Feng unconsciously. As the two walked from the third floor to the first floor, Qin Feng almost had to support Mai all their way. Qin Feng didn't know whether Mai was really drunk or just pretending. But that doesn't matter. The important thing is that they are both very happy today. That's enough. Chapter 14. This person is definitely not an ordinary person. How's it going, Brother Feng? Did you enjoy your drink today? When Qin Feng brought Mai downstairs at Above the Moon, the bald-headed foreman manager hurried over with a smile on his face, bowed and nodded beside Qin Feng and spoke with a smile. Normally, the bald manager won't come over when guests are checking out. The reason why he came here on his own initiative today was because Qin Feng spent too much here, more than 11,000 yuan, and he was alone. It has indeed set a record for single-person consumption in the history of the moon. How could the bald manager not come over and curry favor with such an epic tycoon? The fact is just the fact, the situation is just the situation, there is nothing wrong with it. Wow, how much? Bill, please. Standing in front of the checkout counter at Moon Above, Qin Feng nodded with satisfaction, took out his Longwei mobile phone worth more than $1,000 from his pocket, and said with a smile. Looking at the Longwei mobile phone he had used for 3 years, Qin Feng knew that it was time to replace it with a top-of-the-line Longwei folding screen. And it won't take long for him to replace it. Just wait until tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock when the largest Longwei mobile phone store in the harbor opens. Qin Feng doesn't plan to go to school tomorrow morning. He will try to use one night to increase his bank card balance to 700,000. Then, while buying myself a Longwei folding screen mobile phone, I went to the Mercedes-Benz for S store and bought myself a top-of-the-line E300. In the evening, I returned to the moon again. After singing a song with Mai, I drove her out for a midnight snack. How exciting! This is what Qin Feng planned and decided to do it. Hello, Brother Feng, our total bill tonight is 11,800. I'll round off the amount for you, so just give me 11,000. The bold manager then took out a calculator and fiddled with it, figuring out the total bill for Qin Feng's spending tonight, then smiled and said to Qin Feng. After the bold manager finished talking about Qin Feng's total consumption today, the entire lobby on the first floor of Moonrise was silent. Including Mai, a fae, the bold manager and a group of girls who were preparing to get off work, all nervously focused their eyes on Qin Feng, who was dressed simply. At this moment, everyone couldn't help but feel doubtful. I doubt whether a boy like Qin Feng, who dresses simply and looks very young, can afford such a staggering amount of 11,000 oceans. If not, that would be kind of fucked up. It's more than just fucked up, it's fucked up to the extreme. Even Mai, who had just accompanied Qin Feng for nearly 5 hours, felt a little scared when she saw Qin Feng holding Longwei's phone next to her. I'm really worried that Qin Feng can't pay the bill now. If Qin Feng really couldn't pay the bill because of insufficient balance, then to be honest, she would even want to die. As Qin Feng's female companion, she couldn't save face. But the next second, when she heard Qin Feng's answer, Mei's nervous heart felt a little relieved. Knowing that Qin Feng was most likely well prepared today, he knew that he would most likely be able to pay the bill of 11,000 oceans without any setbacks. $11,000. So cheap. After hearing the words of the bold manager, Qin Feng, holding Longwei's mobile phone, was stunned at first, and then frowned and asked the bold manager. I more or less feel that my consumption tonight is a bit low. I spent just over 10,000 yuan just sitting there for a whole night. So after he settled the bill, the cashback he received was only over 100,000 yuan. Such a cashback speed is really too slow. It's not just slow, it's extremely slow. It seems that he will have to increase his spending in nightclubs in the future, otherwise he will never be able to drive a Mercedes-Benz G63. Oh, Brother Feng, this 11,000 yuan is already a lot. Especially if you come alone, you have set the highest single-person consumption record on the moon today. Do you think we should use WeChat or Alipay for payment here? After hearing Qin Feng's words, the bold manager couldn't help but be shocked. At this moment, he didn't know whether Qin Feng was bragging or really thought that the consumption of more than 10,000 yuan was a bit too little. If it is true, it is fine. But if he is just pretending to be a big ass and cannot pay the bill, it would be a bit puzzling. So the bold manager smiled at Qin Feng and took out the Alipay and WeChat payment codes for Qin Feng. Okay, that's it for today. Next time I come, I'll try to spend more. WeChat payment. Qin Feng then took a deep breath, opened his WeChat scan interface, entered a string of numbers in the transfer column, and quickly paid the other party. He could also see that the bold manager was somewhat skeptical about his spending power and doubted whether he could afford the bill of more than $10,000. But what Qin Feng wanted to say was that there was really no need for this. If it were him in the past, he might be at a loss when faced with this staggering bill of $10,000. Because even if you sell it, you may not be able to get 10,000 yuan in a short time. But now, his ICBC savings account of 4,419 alone had a balance of nearly 90,000 yuan, which was more than enough to pay tonight's bills. What's more, the more money he spends, the more cashback the system will give him, so how could he care about a bill of just over 10,000 yuan? I just really dislike it from the bottom of my heart because it is a little too little. WeChat payment, 20,000 yuan. The next second, a crisp payment reminder sound came from the lobby on the first floor above the entire moon. When this voice sounded, their whole audience was shocked. Feng, Brother Feng, you transferred 20,000 yuan to me. The first person to be confused was the bold manager. He stared at Qin Feng with his eyes wide open and his mouth wide open, and asked in disbelief, his eyeballs almost falling out to the ground. Because in his opinion, Qin Feng should be thankful that he could pay the consumption bill of 11,000 oceans today. But he never expected that Qin Feng not only paid the bill, but also transferred him an extra 9,000 yuan, which really surprised him. Even Mai, a fae and other girls in the room who had just got off work, their eyes widened like cows when they learned that Qin Feng had transferred 20,000 yuan to the bold manager. Needless to say, Qin Feng's actions really shocked everyone. And Qin Feng's next words made everyone feel that this boy standing in the lobby on the first floor above the moon, who was dressed in ordinary clothes and looked to be only in his early 20s, must be no ordinary person. Chapter 15. Give all the remaining money to Mai. Yes, Baldy. The amount I spent today at your place is quite low, just over 10,000 yuan. I just transferred the 20,000 yuan to you. After deducting the bill, you can keep 1,000 yuan for yourself as a tip. Give another 1,000 to our Fei, and give the rest to Mai. Qin Feng was more or less a little drunk at this time, and felt a little drunk. He put his arm around the bald manager's shoulders, called him a two, and told him how to distribute the extra 9,000 yuan he earned. 1,000 is given to a two, the lobby manager, and 1,000 is given to a Fei, the waiter. The remaining $7,000 will all be given to Mai. Qin Feng did this for one reason, in order to get more cash back from the system. The second reason is that he sincerely wants to give some benefits to everyone on Yuliang Zhishan, from the manager, the waiter to the girl who accompanies him. It was not for any other reason, just because today was truly the happiest night he had ever had in all the years he had been hanging around nightclubs. Not only did it make him completely forget about that bitch Liu Yu, but it also gave him a super counterattack system that could change his entire life. How could he not feel deeply happy? So in life, you have to spend some money that should be spent. The more you spend, the more you earn. That's just what I said, there's nothing wrong with it, not a single mistake at all. Thank you, Brother Feng. Thank you, Brother Feng. Brother Feng, you are truly the most open-minded brother I have ever seen on the moon. When Qin Feng finished speaking, the bold manager and our Fei on the side were already so excited that they were about to fly up. Their facial features on their faces were almost falling to the ground with laughter, and they thanked Qin Feng again and again. Especially the bold manager, who hardly served Qin Feng tonight. Just when Qin Feng was about to leave, he came to settle the bill for Qin Feng and received a reward of 1,000 yuan. It really made him feel like smoke was coming out of his ancestral grave tonight. Brother Feng, my name is Wang Gang, you can call me a two if you like. This is my business card. Next time you want to come, please call your bold brother in advance. As long as my brother Feng comes to the moon, I must arrange for him to be in place and that's it. Then the bold manager took out a business card from his pocket, held it with both hands and handed it to Qin Feng, saying respectfully, "Okay, bold brother, I'll call you next time I come." Qin Feng glanced at the business card in front of him with Manager Wang Gang printed on it, took it calmly, and then smiled perfunctorily at Wang Gang. He understood that it would be useless for him to accept the business card because he had already added Mai on WeChat. Next time he came, he would definitely send a WeChat message to Mai instead of looking for Wang Gang. To put it bluntly, no matter which customer goes to a nightclub, what he is interested in is the girls there, not the foreman or the manager. The same goes for Qin Feng. At this moment, looking at Qin Feng, who was about to leave with a drunken look on his face, Mai was still in a state of confusion. He was still somewhat shocked by Qin Feng's words. She never expected that after Qin Feng gave her a tip of 8,888 in the private room, he gave her another tip of 7,000 oceans by transferring it to the foreman manager when he was about to leave the store. Tonight, she earned nearly 20,000 yuan from Qin Feng, which is more than her monthly salary. How could she not feel surprised and delighted? At the same time, he also became more and more convinced that Qin Feng was a trustworthy person. Although Qin Feng is dressed in ordinary clothes, wearing a Casio worth 1,000 yuan and smoking red gold dragon cigarettes that cost 7 yuan a box, the real energy within Qin Feng is definitely far beyond imagination. If it were completely exposed, it would definitely shock people from the soles of their feet to the top of their heads. At this time, the other girls in the hall on the first floor above the moon, after learning all this, were so envious that their saliva was almost dripping. His eyes were filled with envy, jealousy and hatred from the inside out. In fact, from the moment Qin Feng first entered the room to choose the channel, and then ordered a Hennessy set meal worth more than 10,000 yuan, all the girls on the moon knew it all. After all, the channel selection information and consumption information of each room are clearly displayed in their WeChat group. So at that time, these girls were extremely envious that Mai could be with a high-quality boy like Qin Feng. I feel that Mai is really lucky today. Now, when they saw Qin Feng giving Wang Gang, a Fei and Mai an extra 9,000 yuan tip before leaving, the girls were so envious that their saliva was almost dripping on the ground. At the same time, he stared at Qin Feng's face, trying to remember Qin Feng's appearance. In this way, when Qin Feng visits the moon next time, they will have the opportunity to accompany Qin Feng. Brother Feng, are you leaving? How about we go get some midnight snack and drink somewhere else? You spent so much money today, I can't let you spend it in vain. At the very least, let me treat you to a meal. I know Feng Ji is not short of money, but this is my intention. I hope Feng Ji can give me this opportunity. At the same time, seeing that Qin Feng was about to leave, Mai was unwilling to miss the opportunity to meet Qin Feng again today, so she hurriedly stepped forward, took Qin Feng's arm from behind, and spoke very gently. Try your best to show your most beautiful and moving side. Even though this happened in front of the bold manager, a group of girls and waiters, Mai didn't care. After all, the man standing in front of her at this moment is a perfect man. Mai is worried that if she can't keep Qin Feng's heart this time, she will be in trouble if Qin Feng doesn't look for her next time. Naturally, Mai never wanted to see such a thing, so she gave everything she had when she parted with Qin Feng. Counting it up, this was the third time she had mentioned to Qin Feng that she wanted to go out tonight. As the saying goes, things never happen 3 times. Mai believed that this time, even if Qin Feng had a heart of stone, he probably would not refuse. However, unexpectedly, the words Qin Feng said to her shocked her again. I sighed sincerely. It seems that Qin Feng is indeed a gentleman, different from all other men. At the same time, she became more and more fascinated by the man in front of her. No, Mai, we both drank a little too much today. Next time. I'll treat you next time. Qin Feng was seen standing at the door above the moon. He waved at Mai, then opened the door and walked out, leaving the other party with a chic and handsome back. Brother Feng, walk slowly. Welcome to visit us next time. At the same time, a group of moon above staff including Mai stood at the gate and waved to Qin Feng. Chapter 16, the largest leisure massage place in the harbor, Emperor Pavilion. In fact, Qin Feng also wanted to go out for a midnight snack with Mai tonight. But since he doesn't have a car at the moment, if he goes out this time, he will have to call an online taxi, which is really not very impressive. This is also the reason why Qin Feng chose to reject Mai one after another. But it doesn't matter. Qin Feng understands that when he comes to the moon again tonight, he can drive his Mercedes-Benz E300 and take Mai out for a nice midnight snack. Just now, the Longwei mobile phone in his trouser pocket vibrated. If he guessed correctly, it should be the cashback rewarded by the system that has arrived in his account. That was the cashback he had just received for paying the 20,000 yuan bill for tonight. If nothing unexpected happens, this cashback will become the largest cashback he has received since obtaining the system. A total of 20W. With his excited heart and trembling hands, Qin Feng took a deep breath and slowly opened the screen of his Longwei mobile phone. When I saw the text message popping up on the phone screen, I was so excited that I almost fell to the ground. It was not for any other reason, but just because after that wave of consumption, the system actually gave him a cashback of 200,000 yuan. Now the total balance of his bank card is close to 300,000 yuan, which is only one step away from the Mercedes-Benz E300. How could he not feel deeply excited about it? Dear Mr. Qin, your ICBC savings card with the last number 4419 has just received a transfer of 200,000 yuan, and the current balance of the bank card is 269,954 yuan. Looking at the 6-digit balance in his bank card, Qin Feng became more and more excited. You know, just 12 hours ago, he was just a poor student with less than 1,000 yuan in his bank card balance, and was dumped by his girlfriend in front of everyone at the school gate because of poverty. After 12 hours, his bank card balance was close to 300,000 yuan. He also possesses master-level singing skills and top athletic ability. He is no longer the extremely lame male college student he used to be. It really made Qin Feng sigh that life is unpredictable and everything changes. As the saying goes, everything has its limits and good times will come after bad times. This is simply true. In order to be able to drive the Mercedes-Benz E300 after daybreak, Qin Feng decided not to sleep at night and go to the nightclub in the harbor to spend some money, hoping to get his bank card balance to 600,000 before daybreak. Qin Feng then opened the map app on his phone and searched for nightclubs that were still open at this time. I found that although it was almost 2 o'clock in the morning, there were still quite a few nightclubs still open in the entire harbor, with more than 200 in total. These include KTVs, bars, massage parlors, clubs and nightclubs, etc. Qin Feng didn't plan to consider KTV and bars. After all, he just came out of the KTV. There's no point in going to the bar alone, so I'll call Zhang Jian over some other day and they can go have some good time together. Qin Feng was a little tired at this point, so he focused his attention on nightclubs such as massage parlors and clubs. I want to relax with a massage and pedicure, and sober up at the same time. After careful selection, Qin Feng directly set his sights on the Emperor's Pavilion, the largest massage and leisure venue in the entire harbor. The Imperial Pavilion can be regarded as the leader in the leisure industry in the entire harbor and is quite famous. Of course, their consumption is not generally high. If it were in the past, Qin Feng would never have been able to go. Not to mention going there, even if I just passed by, I wouldn't even dare to take a second look. It's just because his pocket is extremely tight. But now it's different. After a wave of consumption on the moon just now, the balance of his bank card has reached 260,000 yuan. With these 260,000 oceans, Qin Feng really doesn't take this mere Emperor's Pavilion seriously. How come 260,000 is enough for one night's consumption in the Imperial Pavilion? Besides, the more he spends, the more cashback he gets. So from now on, any more stories are just stories, any more myths are just stories. There was only one word in front of Qin Feng: shell. As long as the shell is not dead, shell it to death. Thinking of this, Qin Feng did not hesitate at all. He immediately used WeChat to hail an online taxi and headed straight to the Emperor's Pavilion, the largest leisure and entertainment venue in the harbor. Hello, are you the user with the phone number ending in 0502? When Qin Feng called a taxi, in less than 3 minutes, a white electric BYD stopped in front of him. The taxi driver wearing a black mask asked Qin Feng. "Nothing's wrong with me, I'm going to the Emperor's Pavilion." Qin Feng opened the back door of the BYD and sat in. On the way, Qin Feng closed his eyes and rested for a while. I feel like my alcohol tolerance has even increased a lot after obtaining the system. If it were in the past, after drinking so much, he would have had difficulty even walking, let alone getting a massage. But today he was very sober. This really proves the saying that people feel joyful when good things happen to them. The driver drove very fast along the way, and there were relatively few cars on the road at that time, so it took less than 10 minutes. At 1:45 in the morning on September 2nd, we were all there. This white electric BYD online taxi carried Qin Feng to the gate of the Imperial Pavilion. "Hello passengers, we have arrived at our destination. The total consumption is 20 yuan, and WeChat will automatically deduct the order later. Please take care of your belongings and welcome to ride next time." When they arrived at the destination, the driver in the front seat considerately woke up Qin Feng in the back seat and said to him, "Oip, thank you." After listening to the driver's words, Qin Feng turned his head and looked out the window at the 5-story Emperor Pavilion, the largest leisure massage venue in the city, which was decorated with gold and jade. He made an okay gesture to the driver, expressed his gratitude to him, and then opened the car door and walked down. As soon as he got off the car, Qin Feng's cell phone vibrated. As expected, it was the deduction for the online car hailing service, a total of 20 yuan. But the next second, something Qin Feng didn't expect happened. After his bank card was deducted 20 yuan for the fare, he received another transfer of 200 yuan. Looking at the transfer of 200 oceans, Qin Feng couldn't help but frown, feeling a little confused. I wonder if he can get cash back for any consumption in nightclubs. Even taxi fare. After all, he called an online taxi this time in order to go to a nightclub for consumption. Congratulations host, you guessed it right. As long as you spend money on nightclubs in your daily life, you can get 10 times the cash back. Even the fares are no exception. The system's answer that sounded in his mind next confirmed his guess. It really is an awesome system. Qin Feng couldn't help but murmur in his heart. It seems that he will have to spend well on his next trip to the Imperial Pavilion. He can't just spend more than 20,000 yuan like he did on the moon just now. If he doesn't release himself and spend big, he will feel sorry for such a considerate system. In order to drive a Maybach and Mercedes-Benz G63 as soon as possible, Qin Feng immediately decided that he must increase his spending in nightclubs. At the same time, slap that bitch Liu Yu in the face as soon as possible. Let her know that breaking up with Qin Feng is definitely the worst choice she has ever made in her life, no doubt about it. Chapter 17 Spa Package worth 1888. When Qin Feng got off the online taxi and walked towards the entrance of the Imperial Pavilion, he saw 2 male waiters in suits and ties walking towards him with a smile. "Good evening, bro. Welcome to the Imperial Pavilion." 2 male receptionists who looked a bit like spirited young men walked up to Qin Feng, bowed respectfully to him, and then led Qin Feng inside. Looking at the 2 doormen, Qin Feng frowned slightly. He originally wanted to give the 2 guys a tip, but for some reason, when he saw these two people, Qin Feng couldn't help but think of an internet celebrity. And this internet celebrity is none other than the number one bug on the internet, General Yu, who talks nonsense all day long and always demands to expose other people's true feelings. Now he has entered the internet and is working on a sewing machine. These two doormen are extremely similar to General Yu, and they have the same shrimp lines tattooed on their necks as the latter. They look like General Yu's two biological fathers. Qin Feng really felt a little nauseous, and then he put the phone he was about to take out back into his trouser pocket. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Imperial Pavilion. How may I help you? We have everything from foot therapy, massage, spa, etc. As the best leisure and entertainment venue in Haigang City, Emperor Pavilion is guaranteed to satisfy you. When Qin Feng came to the lobby under the guidance of two energetic young men, a young woman wearing a black miniskirt uniform and flesh-colored stockings immediately came over and said to Qin Feng with a smile. Qin Feng glanced at the fair-faced, slender young woman in front of him, and then looked at the name tag hanging on her chest. I found her name quite nice, Shinjilin. He is the lobby manager of the entire Imperial Pavilion. Which of our projects is the most expensive? Then Qin Feng asked the lobby manager named Shinjilin seriously. Although he had been to some leisure and entertainment venues before, he had never been to a formal, high-end place like the Imperial Pavilion. So Qin Feng asked the lobby manager directly which project in the Imperial Pavilion was the most expensive. If you want to come for the most expensive one. After all, one of the reasons why Qin Feng came to the Emperor Pavilion to spend money right now was to sober up and relax. The second reason is to get system cashback. The right solution is to increase your bank card balance to over 1 million as soon as possible so that you can drive a Maybach as soon as possible. So today, when we spend money in the Imperial Pavilion, of course we buy the most expensive ones. Our most expensive package is a full body spa worth 1888. After hearing Qin Feng's words, Shinjilin was stunned for a moment, and then responded to Qin Feng. Although she usually receives quite a few wealthy guests in the Imperial Pavilion, after all, those who can come here to spend money all have some money in their pockets. People without money rarely come here. But she had never met someone like Qin Feng, who asked what was the most expensive thing as soon as he opened his mouth, really showing off his rich air. Having said that, Shinjilin felt that Qin Feng did not look like a rich man based on the way he was dressed, the Longwei mobile phone worth more than 1,000 yuan in his hand, and the black Casio watch on his wrist. Instead, he looks more like a college student who is still in school. Shinjilin couldn't help but feel confused, wondering if Qin Feng was here to act like a big shot, but in fact he didn't have much money in his pocket. Shinjilin has been working in the nightclub for such a long time that she has seen many customers like this. She suspected that Qin Feng was such a person. Qin Feng's next words further confirmed her guess, making her think that Qin Feng was just a college student who came here to show off. 1888? So cheap. Qin Feng took a deep breath, widened his eyes, and said to Shinjilin in shock. It was not for any other reason, but because he originally thought that for a leisure and entertainment club like the Emperor's Pavilion, which is the best in the whole harbor, the top package would cost at least 10,000. Shinjilin's answer really surprised him. It was only 1888, less than 2,000 yuan. At this consumption rate, when will he be able to drive a G63? Do we have any additional items? We can increase consumption a little more. Then Qin Feng looked at Shinjilin and asked seriously. I want to ask Shinjilin, the lobby manager, if Emperor Pavilion has any wine and beverage packages like the ones at Above the Moon, which are worth 10,000 yuan each. It can allow him to increase his spending in the Imperial Pavilion tonight by several times. Although he drank a little too much tonight, it didn't matter. As long as the Emperor Pavilion had it, he could order it and not drink it. Although Qin Feng thought so, he never expected that Shinjilin misunderstood the meaning of his words. I'm sorry, sir. Our store is a serious place for leisure and entertainment. We don't have the messy things you are looking for. If you come to our Imperial Pavilion with bad intentions, I'm sorry, we may not be able to meet your requirements. So please leave as soon as possible. A trace of anger appeared on Shinjilin's fair face. She stared at Qin Feng and said unhappily. Why do we blame today's college students for not studying hard? When I get to an entertainment venue, I want to find some fun things to do. Originally, her first impression of Qin Feng was quite good. He has a delicate and handsome appearance, a bit like the Hong Kong and Taiwan star Tony Leung Chiu-wai during his heyday. But no one expected that Qin Feng not only loved to show off, but also had some bad thoughts in his heart. The fact that he actually wanted to find someone who had practiced for 2.5 years in the Emperor's Pavilion really made Shen Jilin's impression of Qin Feng drop to the bottom. Sorry, Miss Shen, you may have misunderstood me. I am not. Oh, forget it, let us just go for the 1888 set meal. After hearing what Shen Jilin said, Qin Feng was somewhat confused. He didn't expect that Shen Jilin actually misunderstood what he meant. In this case, Qin Feng didn't want to say anything more, otherwise the more he explained, the more things would become more embarrassing. He then waved his hand, indicating that he only wanted the 1888 spar package. Okay, then go into the house and choose a technician. Shen Jilin didn't say much, just nodded and made a gesture to guide Qin Feng forward. She has worked at the Emperor's Pavilion for so many years, and what she hates most are those customers who want to do something unnecessary. I look down on it from the bottom of my heart. After classifying Qin Feng as this kind of person, Shen Jilin's attitude towards Qin Feng became lukewarm, just like other guests. If it weren't for her role as lobby manager, she would not even bother talking to Qin Feng. She originally wanted to take Qin Feng to the public relations office as soon as possible, let him choose a technician there, and then leave. Unexpectedly, the words Qin Feng said to her the next second made her feel even more ashamed and angry, and she almost swore at Qin Feng. Chapter 18. No need to choose a technician, choose you. No need to choose a technician, just you. Just serve me tonight. Qin Feng just smiled and said to Shen Jilin. At this moment, he had no intention of going to the public relations office of the Imperial Pavilion to choose a technician to serve him. I feel that this lobby manager named Shen Jilin is pretty good. It was not for any other reason, but because he felt something from Shen Jilin that was completely different from the atmosphere of a leisure and entertainment club like the Emperor's Pavilion. In fact, it stands to reason that lobby managers in leisure places like Shen Jilin are mostly somewhat flirtatious. Although Qin Feng had never been to a top-level club like the Imperial Pavilion before, he had been to some ordinary ones. The lobby managers there, both men and women, are all very sexy and have a strong club vibe. But Shen Jilin in front of him is an exception. There was an air of dignity and elegance about her, which was in stark contrast to the Imperial Pavilion where he was at the moment. This is also the reason why he asked Shen Jilin to serve him. Although he also knew that Shen Jilin was the lobby manager here, responsible for receiving guests, not a technician. It's hard to make some kind of project for him. But Qin Feng still wanted to give it a try. If all else fails, use the methods that rich people love to use. They are simple, crude and very effective. That is to throw money at it. He kept smashing it until Shen Jilin agreed to his request. Anyway, he still has nearly 300,000 yuan in his bank card balance. If all else fails, he will spend all the 300,000 yuan. He doesn't believe that Shen Jilin will not agree to a spar treatment for him if he asks her for 300,000 yuan. If he still disagrees, then there's nothing he can do. Maybe it's not fate yet. If that's the case, he won't force it. After all, a forced melon is not sweet. Excuse me, sir, I'm a lobby manager here, not a technician. If you want to have a spar, please follow me to the public relations room to choose a technician. At this moment, the last bit of smile on Shen Jilin's face completely disappeared, and was replaced by a gloomy look. She suppressed the anger in her heart and spoke to Qin Feng with a stern face. She never expected that this handsome male college student was so perverted. He actually wanted to drag her, the lobby manager, into the private room of the Imperial Pavilion to do some unspeakable things. Naturally, Shen Jilin could never accept such a thing. She knows her own character and personality very well. If she was that kind of frivolous person, she would not be working as the lobby manager of the Imperial Pavilion, but would have gone to work as a technician in a place in the harbor that provided improper services. With a high salary of tens of thousands of dollars a month, why would you bother working in the Emperor's Pavilion and earning a meager income of 5,000 yuan a month? And Shen Jilin's words were exactly what Qin Feng had expected. Because Qin Feng had expected from the beginning that Shen Jilin would definitely not agree to his request the first time she heard it. After all, he also knew what kind of woman Shen Jilin was. In this case, Qin Feng will try a money offensive that he has never used before but is often used by rich people. 18,008, is that okay, Miss Shen? If you give me a spar treatment, you can get 10 times the price of a technician. Please rest assured, Miss Shen. I, Qin Feng, am a gentleman. I can guarantee you with my life that I will not do anything you shouldn't do. I just want to chat with you. That's all, nothing more she asked for. Qin Feng stared into Shinjilan's eyes and said sincerely. This is indeed the case. Qin Feng still has some self-awareness and knows that the reason why he can come here is completely different from some guests with bad intentions. The reason he was able to spend money at the Imperial Pavilion tonight was purely because he had obtained a tenfold cashback system. But this damn system restricted his return to the scene to nightclubs only. In this case, even if he didn't want to come to this kind of place, he had to come. Not for anything else, just to make my life outside of nightclubs have a qualitative leap as soon as possible. In places like nightclubs, any woman who makes money will make money. Since he is proud of Shinjilan as the lobby manager, it is not impossible to let her earn her own money. 18,008. After hearing Qin Feng's words, Shinjilan's pupils suddenly expanded several times and she muttered to herself. There is no doubt that Qin Feng's words just now stimulated her adrenaline glands to some extent. She never expected that in order to invite her to the private room for a spa treatment, Qin Feng actually offered her 10 times the price, nearly 20,000 yuan, which was almost as much as her 4-month salary. No matter how little money a woman has, she can't help but be tempted when she hears the price. It's really just a simple spa. You don't have any extra thoughts about me, right, Mr. Qin? After a brief hesitation, Shinjilan took a deep breath, gritted her teeth, and asked Qin Feng in a low voice. If it is true, Shinjilan is willing to act as a technician tonight. Just because of the service fee of 18,800 yuan, the temptation to her was too great. The financial pressure she is currently shouldering is extremely great. Not only is she stressed out by the rent and credit card, but also by her younger brother who is suffering from kidney failure and urgently needs a kidney transplant. If she could really get Qin Feng's 18,800 oceans, it would greatly improve her life. It was also from Qin Feng's words just now that she knew that the man standing opposite her, who looked like a college student, was named Qin Feng. Shinjilan hopes that Qin Feng's personality can be just like his name, without any vulgarity. Yes, Miss Shin, I promise you with my character and life that I will never touch you. Qin Feng took a deep breath, nodded heavily at Shinjilan and made a promise. He also didn't expect that when he revealed the initial tentative price of 18,800, Shinjilan would be tempted. In his opinion, the price of 18,888 was not high at all. He even planned to raise the price further if Shinjilan refused. Unexpectedly, Shinjilan agreed immediately. Maybe the young woman in front of me really needs money. Well, okay then, Mr. Qin Feng. Come with me to the bar to pay for your order. After you pay for your order, please wait for me in the private room. I will change out of my technician uniform and serve you. After hearing Qin Feng's answer, Shinjilan's face turned red like a red apple when she thought about what she was going to do later, and she whispered to Qin Feng. Then he led Qin Feng to the bar. In fact, it stands to reason that customers who come to the Emperor's Pavilion to consume basically pay later and settle the bill when they leave. The reason why Shinjilan made an exception and let Qin Feng pay the bill first was because she was worried that she would be fooled by Qin Feng. Chapter 19 Xiaoting, Collect the Money, 18,800. He was afraid that he would not get a penny after providing service to Qin Feng. After all, she thought Qin Feng looked like an ordinary college student, not someone who could afford 20,000 yuan. The words Qin Feng said to her just now might have been just a joke on her. Okay, Miss Shin. No problem. Qin Feng nodded, holding his Longwei mobile phone, and followed Shinjilan's steps towards the bar. Xiaoting, collect the money. 18,080. After arriving at the front desk of the Imperial Pavilion, Shinjilan whispered to a bar girl named Xiaoting. As she said this, Shinjilan tried her best to control her pounding heart, and at the same time lowered her voice for fear of being heard by others. For some reason, Shinjilan couldn't help blushing when she thought about changing into technician uniform, closing the door, and going into the private room of the Imperial Pavilion to give Qin Feng a spar. Even her little heart was beating wildly at this moment. Although she also understood that she and Qin Feng were not going to do anything shameful, it was just a very normal spar project. But when she thought of this, she couldn't help but feel her heart beating wildly. As for the reason, she felt that it might be because she had never been a technician who had physical contact with customers. Since she entered the leisure massage industry, she has worked in positions such as manager. How many? After hearing what Shinjilan said, the bar girl immediately widened her eyes and asked at the other party with a look of shock. She felt that if she heard correctly, Shinjilin asked her to collect 18,800 yuan in advance for this customer who looked like the Hong Kong and Taiwan star Tony Leung during his heyday. Not to mention that the Emperor's Pavilion always waits until the guests leave before settling the bill. Qin Feng had just walked in and had a low conversation with Shinjilin for a while before Shinjilin led him to the front desk and directly collected a fee of 18,800 yuan. This really made Xiaoting feel extremely confused. It's more than just confusion. It's really confusing. Because this 18,800 has broken the single-person consumption record in the entire Imperial Pavilion. Not to mention Qin Feng alone, even those guests who came in groups, with more than 10 or 20 people, could not match the consumption of Qin Feng alone in the end at the Emperor Pavilion. 18888, if I ask you to take it, you can take it. Arrange a VIP suite on the 5th floor for this guest. Also, there is no need to choose a technician for him. I will serve him later. Shinjilin glared at the bar girl and continued in a low voice. She blamed Xiaoting for being so slow-witted. As the lobby manager, she just asked the other party to charge whatever amount she asked them to. It's not her turn to care so much. After hearing Shinjilin's answer, Xiaoting's pupils dilated several times again, becoming as big as an old cow, as if they were about to fall to the ground. From what Shinjilin had just said, Xiaoting learned a very important piece of news. That is, Shinjilin, the lobby manager, will actually have to personally work on the project for this handsome young boy. Presumably this is also the reason why Shinjilin allowed her to collect the fees in advance. The two of them must have planned everything in advance during their unknown conversation just now. 10,000, 8,008. Then Xiaoting didn't hesitate, she lowered her head and entered the amount on the payment code interface. When typing the 5 numbers 18888, Xiaoting's hands trembled unconsciously every time she pressed a 8. Her heart also started beating wildly. You know, this is 18,800 oceans. Her monthly salary is only 3,000 yuan, and what Qin Feng is going to sweep later is nearly half a year's salary for her. How could she not feel frightened? At the same time, she was also extremely curious about what Manager Shen was going to do with this young boy that would make the latter offer such a high price. Manager Shen, let me remind you that our Emperor's Pavilion is a serious leisure massage place. If you too want to do something that shouldn't be done, it's best to go outside. Otherwise, it will damage the image of our store. After entering the payment code, Xiaoting raised her head and said to Shinjilin. Although she understood that there were some things that were not for her, a bar girl, to say, nor was it her business to manage. But whether it is out of kindness or jealousy. If she didn't say some words at this moment, she would feel like there was something stuck in her throat and feel extremely uncomfortable. She had to say it in front of Qin Feng and Shinjilin, only then would she feel better. And the fact is indeed so. In her opinion, since Qin Feng can offer Shinjilin a price of 18,800. If the two of them wanted to do something unspeakable, they could just go out, turn left, and go to the best hotel in the entire harbor, the Harbor Hotel. It is legal and compliant there, and there is no need to take risks in the Imperial Pavilion. If you get caught, it will also affect the reputation of the store. If the boss finds out, Shinjilin, the lobby manager, might face the possibility of being laid off. So Xiaoting felt that she said this out of kindness, wanting to remind Shinjilin, and she had no other purpose. Xiaoting, what are you talking about? This customer came to me simply because he didn't want to choose a technician. I went inside with him, and he only did the most formal spa in the store. There is no other superfluous behavior at all. After hearing Xiaoting's words, the blush on Shinjilin's face became more intense, all the way to the base of her neck, and she spoke to the other party in a fierce manner. Working at the Imperial Pavilion, what she feared most was that her reputation would be damaged. She was afraid that others would talk about her, which was why she chose to be a lobby manager instead of a technician. If it was really because she took Qin Feng's order that she would be ordered around in the store from now on, she would rather not earn the $18,888. It's okay, Miss Shen. In that case, you can just massage my feet in the hall where everyone can see. It can also prove our innocence. Qin Feng also saw the dilemma that Shinjilin, the lobby manager, would face if she came down to serve him as a guest, so he simply waved his hand and said to Shinjilin. He meant that he didn't need Shinjilin to give him a spa treatment worth 1,888 in a separate private room today. All the latter needs to do is simply massage his feet in the hall. But when it comes to money, Qin Feng will still spend 18,800 oceans on her. Although what Qin Feng wanted to do more tonight was actually the 1888 spa project. After all, he was a little drunk and wanted to take this opportunity to have a good sleep. But if doing so would cause trouble for Shinjilin, it would be better to wait until next time. Anyway, after he obtained the Tenfold cashback system, he would definitely come back to the Emperor Pavilion, which is the best massage and leisure place in the city. The fate between him and Shinjilin must still have a long way to go and will not end after tonight. In that case, it wouldn't be amiss to let Shinjilin massage his feet in the hall first so they can get to know each other first. At the same time, it also helped Shinjilin avoid the rumors from people in the store. Don't ask him why he did this, because Qin Feng is the man who knows how to be gentle and considerate to women. Qin Feng opened WeChat without any hesitation and scanned the payment interface that the bar girl had prepared long ago. WeChat payment, 18,800 yuan. The next second, a clear reminder sound was heard at the front desk on the first floor of the Imperial Pavilion. Chapter 20, Little Kara's butt opened her eyes. When this voice sounded, Shinjilin and Xiaoting suddenly widened their eyes, opened their mouths, and looked at each other, with surprise and astonishment written all over their faces. Because no one expected that while the two were still arguing, Qin Feng paid the money so calmly, and it was a 5-digit amount of 18,888 oceans. Originally, Shinjilin had no intention of serving Qin Feng today, fearing that it would affect her reputation in the Emperor's Pavilion from now on. But if she remembered correctly, before Qin Feng paid the 18,888 yuan, he promised in person in front of her and Xiaoting that he didn't need her to do the 1,888 spar package for Qin Feng today, he only needed her to massage Qin Feng's feet in the lobby. A simple foot massage in the public hall can make this handsome guy in front of her, who looks like Liang Chaowei in his prime, willing to spend 18,888 yuan on her. For a moment, Shinjilin was somewhat moved. It's more than just touching, it's extremely touching. You know, although Shinjilin has a good appearance and a good figure, there have been many men pursuing her since she was a child. But she has never met a man like Qin Feng who is willing to spend money on her. Just for a foot massage, she was offered nearly $20,000. Even if she had a heart of stone, her heart would probably be melted at this moment. What's more, she is not a heartless woman at all. She just pretends to be cold on the outside, but is actually very weak on the inside. There is no doubt that Qin Feng's actions just now hit the softest spot in Shinjilin's heart. It almost brought tears to her eyes. If Xiaoting hadn't been there, Shinjilin estimated that she would definitely cry. It was also at this moment that Shinjilin completely saw Qin Feng's true character. It was definitely not because I was attracted by her beauty that I chose to let her, the lobby manager, serve me. I just simply liked her. Mr. Qin, it's okay, if you still want the 1888 set meal, I'm willing to serve you. Please wait for me in the VIP suite on the 5th floor. I will go change my clothes and will be there soon. Shinjilin's voice became extremely gentle, and she whispered to Qin Feng. As he said this, tears welled up in his eyes. As the saying goes, a man will die for his confidant and a woman will dress up to please herself. Although she knew that if she went down to the private room today and gave Qin Feng the spar package worth 1888, it would be very likely that she would have to endure a lot of criticism in the Emperor's Pavilion from now on. But now, none of this matters to Shinjilin. Qin Feng's actions just now had completely made her see Qin Feng's true character. It made her feel that even if she had to endure criticism from others, she was willing to serve Qin Feng as a lobby manager and provide this spar package that involved a lot of physical contact. But unexpectedly, the words Qin Feng said to her next made her heart warm again, and she almost burst into tears on the spot. It's okay, Miss Shin, just help me massage my feet in the hall today. It's a good time to try out your foot massage skills. Next time, when I come again tomorrow night, we will go to the private room upstairs and experience your spar techniques. Qin Feng said to Shinjilin with a smile on his face. After being treated like that by the bar girl, he was somewhat reluctant to go to the dark room on the 5th floor and have the spar treatment worth $1,888. What's more, he had already said it, and it would be a bit embarrassing to change his words now. After all, he still needs to work hard to maintain his manliness. Well, okay then, Brother Feng, please wait for me in the hall. I'll be right back after I change my clothes. At this moment, Shinjilin no longer had the reserve that she had at the beginning as the lobby manager of the Imperial Pavilion. She whispered to Qin Feng like a shy little girl. Her face was covered with blush. At the same time, Qin Feng's name was affectionately changed to Brother Feng. Although she knew that she might be a few years older than Qin Feng, it didn't matter. It was not for any other reason, but because she had clearly grasped a message from Qin Feng's words just now, that is, Qin Feng would come to the Emperor Pavilion to consume again tomorrow night, and specifically asked her, the lobby manager, to continue to serve him. This means that she may be able to earn this astonishing $18,888 tomorrow. If this is true, then tomorrow she is willing to change into a technician's uniform in front of everyone, go to the president's private room on the 5th floor, and serve Qin Feng personally. Even if she is misunderstood by everyone, she doesn't care. Not for anything else, just because Qin Feng has already walked deeply into her heart. Not only is he generous, but he is also extremely handsome, even more so than Hong Kong and Taiwan star Chow Wai. Especially those charming eyes. When Shinjilin saw them, her heart couldn't help but beat fast and she felt like she was in love. The fact is the fact, the situation is the situation, there is nothing wrong with it, not a single mistake. Okay, Manager Shin, I'll wait for you in the lobby. Just order the most expensive fruit plate, tea, etc. I'll go downstairs to pay later. Then Qin Feng waved at the bar girl and said. After saying that, he put his hands in his pockets and walked towards the hall alone. Okay, Brother Feng. The bar girl looked at Qin Feng's back and shouted with a smile on her face. For Xiaoting, today was truly a day of relief and an eye-opener. And they are not just small eyes, but super big eyes. Needless to say, she felt that she had been working as a cashier in the Imperial Pavilion for at least half a year, but in this half year, she had never seen a man as generous as Qin Feng. Just for having the lobby manager Shinjilin massage his feet in the lobby, the latter gave him a tip of 18,888 oceans. If she were lucky enough to sleep with this man, he would definitely give her a huge sum of money. Xiaoting felt that 100,000 or 80,000 was a little too little. With Qin Feng's aura and extraordinary skills, 1 million or 800,000 would definitely be no problem. But there was one thing Xiaoting couldn't understand, and that was a man like Qin Feng who was handsome and had a lot of money in his pocket. Why did he fall for a lobby manager like Shinjilin? Although Shinjilin is indeed curvy and curly, she is much better than some of the top technicians in the store. But what puzzled Xiaoting was that her appearance and figure were definitely not bad, and she was much younger than Shinjilin. Why did Qin Feng choose Shinjilin instead of her? Chapter 21 Foot Massage, Jealous. Could it be that what I am wearing today is too simple? Maybe that's it. Xiaoting couldn't help but secretly make up her mind that when she went to work tomorrow, she must wear something extremely sexy and wow-inspiring. Try to capture Qin Feng's heart. For a man like Qin Feng who is handsome and has a lot of money in his pocket, not only Shinjilin, the lobby manager, but even she, the bar girl, wants him. On the other side, Qin Feng soon arrived at the foot massage hall of the Emperor Pavilion. What made him feel fortunate was that, perhaps because it was late today, the entire hall was unusually empty. There was no one there and he was the only customer. Then Qin Feng found a corner by the window and sat down, half lying on the massage chair, waiting for Shinjilin to arrive. It would be nice if there was no one here today, as Qin Feng was a person who extremely liked quietness. It's a good opportunity to have a heart-to-heart talk with Shinjilin. It's hard to explain why, but Qin Feng felt quite proud from the first moment he saw Shinjilin, the lobby manager. Anyway, she looks pleasing to the eye and is the type of girl he likes. The main reason is that she is not a technician here, but a lobby manager. If it were in the past, even if he wanted Shinjilin, the lobby manager, to come down and serve him, he would never dare to say it out loud. After all, the money in his pocket was very tight. As the saying goes, he has the heart of a thief but not the courage of a thief. That's just what it means. There is nothing wrong with it. I haven't done anything wrong at all. However, things are different now. Ever since he obtained the system, the money he spends in nightclubs has become more and more. With this cashback mechanism, what else is there to say? From now on, there is only one word in front of him: shell. As long as the shell is not dead, shell it to death. In the future, when he dine in nightclubs, even if it is the proprietress who takes a liking to him, she can ask her to serve him. Using his best money offensive. Of course, it is limited to the most normal services. After all, Qin Feng is an absolute gentleman. In addition to leisure and entertainment, consumption in nightclubs is more for cashback and to make a qualitative improvement in one's life outside of nightclubs as soon as possible. Then he slapped that bitch Liu Yu hard in the face, letting her know that breaking up with him was definitely the most wrong decision she had ever made in her life, no doubt about it. Soon, Shinjilin, who had changed her clothes, came slowly towards Qin Feng from the entrance of the hall, holding a basin of water for washing feet. At this time, Shinjilin was wearing a black short dress. She took off her flesh-colored stockings, revealing a pair of smooth and white thighs. Qin Feng felt that she was no different now than when she first wore the manager's suit. On the contrary, he still prefers the other person wearing formal clothes. Qin Feng decided that when he came here again tomorrow night, he would let Shinjilin still wear the original black suit and give him the spa package worth 1,888. Sorry, Brother Feng, I kept you waiting for so long. After Shinjilin came to Qin Feng with the foot washing water, she first smoothed her hair with her hand, and then said to Qin Feng slightly embarrassedly. At this moment, Shinjilin's face was blushing, like a girl who had just got married. Looking at Qin Feng in front of him, he felt more or less embarrassed. Not for any other reason, but because this was the first time she played the role of a technician since she entered the leisure venue. Although it was her first time, Shinjilin understood that she did everything willingly. It's not just because of Qin Feng's $18,888, but more importantly, it's because of Qin Feng himself. He was so unique, different from all the guests she had met in the Imperial Pavilion. There is an indescribable feeling. While Qin Feng was lying on the massage chair with his eyes closed to rest, Shinjilin gently stretched out her jade hand and carefully took off his white sports shoes and socks. Put Qin Feng's feet in the foot basin and wash them carefully. Brother Feng, I'm not really good at massage. I hope you won't mind if I don't do it well. While Shinjilin was washing Qin Feng's feet, she gently pressed Qin Feng's acupoints with her knuckles. Although she had never worked as a technician before, she had been in nightclubs for a long time and had some knowledge about health massage. So I can still force Qin Feng to do a foot massage. It's okay, Manager Shin. Just do it as you see fit. Qin Feng was lying on the massage chair. He was somewhat drunk at the moment and felt a little tired. He closed his eyes and responded softly to Shinjilin. Ding dong. Ding dong. Ding dong. Just when Qin Feng was about to take a short break. Suddenly, he heard a series of alert sounds coming from his cell phone. The moment he heard the voice, Qin Feng's pupils suddenly expanded several times, and then he reached out and took out a cell phone from his pocket. If he guessed correctly, it was most likely the cashback the system had just given him. When he opened his phone, he was shocked to find that it was true. However, in addition to the reminder text message from ICBC 95588, there were also 3 WeChat reminders. It was sent to him by Mai. Qin Feng doesn't know what the other party sent yet. I just opened my 95588 interface first and wanted to check my cashback amount first. Dear Mr. Qin, your ICBC savings card with the last number 4419 has just received a transfer of 188,880 yuan, and the current balance on the card is 456,946 yuan. Looking at the transfer information received on his mobile phone, Qin Feng's little face was almost smiling. If Shinjilin had not been here, he estimated that he would definitely laugh out loud. Not for any other reason, but simply because the balance in his bank card at this moment was already enough to buy a bare-bones Mercedes-Benz E-Class. How could Qin Feng not feel deeply excited? What's wrong, Brother Feng? Did some girl send you a WeChat message that made you so happy? At this moment, Shinjilin, who was washing and massaging Qin Feng's feet, also noticed Qin Feng's mood change, raised her head, smiled and said to Qin Feng. Although Shinjilin's face was full of smiles, for some reason, she felt a little sour in her heart, as if a jar of vinegar had been overturned. Qin Feng's cell phone rang several times just now, and it was obvious that someone had sent him a message. Who else but a girl could make Qin Feng smile when he opens his phone? Shinjilin didn't know why she had such a sour feeling. After all, she and Qin Feng only had a transactional relationship, between a server and a customer. Even though women are naturally jealous, she felt that there was really no need for her to be jealous of a customer, right? Shinjilin couldn't figure it all out and didn't understand why she felt this way. It seemed that after Qin Feng paid 18,888 yuan for her at the bar, Shinjilin decided that he was her man. If there were another woman who had Qin Feng, she would be jealous. Chapter 22. As long as you work hard, it is possible to break 100 million in a week. Oh, nothing, Manager Shin, a friend sent me a message. Qin Feng then quickly closed his 95,588 message interface, opened WeChat, and said to Shinjilin with a smile. It would be so embarrassing if Shinjilin saw me laughing at the balance of hundreds of thousands in my bank card. Not for any other reason, but because perhaps in the eyes of Shinjilin and the girl at the Emperor's Pavilion bar, Qin Feng was most likely a multi-millionaire, maybe even a billionaire. Otherwise, it would be impossible to spend 18,888 oceans in one go. If they knew that I actually only have less than 500,000 yuan now, it would be a bit disappointing. However, Qin Feng also knew that everything only existed at the moment. Although the balance in his bank card is only over 450,000 yuan for now, it doesn't matter. Maybe by tonight, the balance in his bank card may exceed 1 million yuan. It might even reach 10 million tomorrow night. It's all possible, and it all depends on how hard he works. As long as he works hard and spends more time in nightclubs, it is not impossible for his bank card balance to exceed 100 million within a week. When Qin Feng opened the WeChat interface, he found that Mai had just sent him 3 WeChat voice messages. They were all relatively short, about 3 seconds each. Then Qin Feng turned down the volume of the receiver, put it to his ear and listened to the voice messages that Mai had sent him. What are you doing? Brother Feng, are you asleep? We had a lot of fun tonight and drank a lot. This is the happiest night I've had since I entered the nightclub. Thank you, Brother Feng. Qin Feng listened to the 3 voice messages Mai sent him and smiled slightly. This was the first time the two of them chatted on WeChat since he added Mai on WeChat. It was also the first time that a girl from a nightclub took the initiative to chat with him. In the past, when Qin Feng went to nightclubs, he had added some girls on WeChat. But he had never chatted with them, and they had never sent him messages like Mai did. The reason, Qin Feng felt, was that he should thank God and the system for everything. If he hadn't obtained the system today, his encounter with Mai tonight might have been different. Although it might be good. But what is certain is that he is a little bit behind in terms of consumption. It's more than just almost, it's definitely much worse. I simply don't have the ability to give Mai so much tip. I can't afford a big bun, let alone order the Hennessy set meal worth $10,000. Listening to the extremely gentle voice on the other end of the phone, Qin Feng had a different feeling. This was something he had never experienced in his life in the past 20 years. Who is it, your girlfriend? Just as Qin Feng was about to reply to Mai, he suddenly heard Shinjilin beside him saying to him with a smile. Qin Feng felt a hint of jealousy from Shinjilin's eyes and words. After all, he is not a fool, and it is impossible for him not to see when a woman is jealous. But what puzzled and curious him was that Shinjilin was actually jealous of him. You know, he and Liu Yu have been together for nearly 3 months, and as his official girlfriend, Liu Yu has never been jealous of him at all. However, Qin Feng was somewhat surprised that Shinjilin, the lobby manager of the Emperor's Pavilion, whom he had just met for less than an hour, would be jealous of him chatting with other girls. After examining the reason, Qin Feng felt that perhaps this was the legendary blessing of money power. He is very handsome and has good interpersonal skills. With the blessing of money, his charm has improved a lot compared to before. No, not a girlfriend. I don't have a girlfriend. She is a girl from a nightclub. Qin Feng then smiled and shook his head at Shinjilin and told the truth. Qin Feng loves to tell the truth. Not a person who is keen on fraud. The person who sent him WeChat at this time was indeed not his girlfriend. Like Shinjilin, she was a nightclub girl he met within 12 hours. Oh. Unexpectedly, after hearing Qin Feng's words, a great sense of loss immediately surged on Shinjilin's face. She lowered her head in disappointment and murmured, I feel like I have lost my soul. To be honest, Qin Feng's answer just now seemed to have dealt a 10,000-point critical blow to her soul. If for no other reason, Shinjilin would rather hear from Qin Feng that the person who sent him the message was his girlfriend than the girls in the nightclub. Because Shinjilin hopes that Qin Feng can only have her as his only woman in the nightclub. I am having a massage and drinking. I am really happy today. I am a little tired. I came here to relax. Qin Feng then replied to Mai in writing. The same truth is told. Say you are getting a massage. Unexpectedly, it was also because of Qin Feng's truthfulness that Mai on the other end of the phone was once again hit hard. It was September 2nd, 2:10 in the morning. After Mai finished drinking with Qin Feng, she called an online taxi and returned to her rental house in Haigang after Qin Feng left. After washing my face, I put on a facial mask and fell on the bed, tossing and turning, unable to sleep. As soon as I closed my eyes, my mind was filled with Qin Feng's shadow. She didn't know why, but since she started working as a girl in the nightclub, no customer had ever made her look like this. Qin Feng is the one and only one. Whether it was Qin Feng's appearance, his singing, or his extraordinary moves, they were all deeply imprinted in Mei Mei's heart, making her unable to extricate herself. She felt like she had met her destined lover tonight. There is no doubt that Qin Feng is that person. Because of her irrepressible longing for Qin Feng, Mei Mei picked up her phone and sent a WeChat message to Qin Feng. This was the first time she took the initiative to send a message to a customer in a nightclub. She originally wanted to chat with Qin Feng for a few minutes before going to bed, which would ease her longing for Qin Feng and allow her to have a good sleep tonight. But after reading Qin Feng's reply, Mei Mei knew that she would not be able to sleep tonight. She never expected that after Qin Feng had a drink with her tonight, he would turn around and go for a massage. It was also at this moment that Mei Mei became extremely jealous. Full of jealousy. There is no doubt that when Qin Feng went for a massage, the person serving him must be a woman. It can't be a man. For some reason, when Mei Mei thought of other women besides her having physical contact with Qin Feng, her heart felt extremely uncomfortable, as if 1,000 ants were crawling in her heart. Logically speaking, Qin Feng was just a guest she had just met today, and she shouldn't have such feelings towards a guest. Other people can do whatever they want and go wherever they want. It has nothing to do with her at all. But she just felt uncomfortable. Oh. Then she picked up her phone and replied to Shinjilin with exactly the same words. Just one word. Oh. Chapter 23, My girlfriend is coming to check on me? Qin Feng was quite surprised to hear Mei Mei's casual "oh" and frowned. It was just because her and Shinjilin's reactions were the same, even the tone of their speech was the same. At this moment, a bold idea came to Qin Feng's mind. Could it be that Mei Mei and Shinjilin, two girls from the nightclub, were jealous of each other from a distance? I guess this is the only way. Thinking of this, Qin Feng couldn't help but take a breath, and felt more and more that this tenfold cashback system was so awesome. Needless to say, Qin Feng had no right to make two top nightclub girls, whom he had just known for less than 12 hours, jealous of him from afar. There is no doubt that this was something he could never do before. The reason may be the extremely awesome financial power. Otherwise, the effect would not be so obvious. Facts have proved that being handsome alone is not enough for a man. There needs to be some financial support behind it to be a long-term solution. After hearing Mei Mei's reply, Qin Feng put down his phone and prepared to close his eyes and rest. But what he didn't expect was that the next second, the phone he put aside suddenly rang with a shrill WeChat ringtone. He didn't know who called him, nor did he know whether it was a voice or video call. The moment he heard this voice, Qin Feng sobered up immediately. It was not for any other reason, just because he was worried that the WeChat message was a video sent to him by his counselor. After all, he didn't go back to the dormitory tonight, but chose to have fun outside. If the counselor knew about this, it would be quite a mess. It's more than fucking, it's fucking to the extreme. However, when Qin Feng sat up straight and saw the caller's profile picture displayed on the phone screen, he breathed a sigh of relief. It turned out that the person who called him on WeChat video call in the middle of the night was not his counselor, but Mei Mei, who had just chatted with him. Qin Feng didn't know why Mei Mei suddenly called him on video, but after a brief hesitation, he still chose to answer the call. Is it your girlfriend checking up on you? Should I step aside? Before Qin Feng picked up the phone, Shinjilin asked hurriedly. Although Qin Feng had just made it clear to her that he didn't have a girlfriend. But men's mouths can be deceiving, who knows whether Qin Feng actually has a girlfriend or he is lying to her. What if this video was really made by Qin Feng's girlfriend? It would be a bit inappropriate for her to see Qin Feng having his feet massaged by a woman in the middle of the night. That's why Shinjilin chose to ask the latter in a considerate manner whether she needed to avoid it. However, after hearing Qin Feng's answer, Shinjilin became jealous again, as if she was soaked in a vinegar jar. No, not a girlfriend, I told you, I don't have a girlfriend. It's the nightclub girl I just chatted with. Qin Feng pressed the answer button and replied to Shinjilin calmly. Although he didn't understand why Mei Mei suddenly called him on video, it didn't matter. As long as it wasn't his counselor calling him, it didn't matter and he could answer the call. Hey, brother Feng, where are you? I want to come find you. I've been feeling a little tired lately, and I want to find a place to relax. When the video was connected, Mai was the first to ask Qin Feng on the other end with a smile. Just now, after Mai finished chatting with Qin Feng, she was jealous of Qin Feng and didn't want to talk to him anymore. But when I put the phone there, I felt like a huge rock was blocking my heart. The more I thought about it, the more uncomfortable I felt, and the angrier I got. She was not angry with Qin Feng, but with the girl who was giving Qin Feng a massage. It would be fine if it was any other customer she knew, but Qin Feng was not an ordinary customer. Ever since Qin Feng left the moon today, Mai has felt an inexplicable fear in her heart. Afraid of losing Qin Feng. After all, Qin Feng is so good, the kind that it is hard to believe it is real. I'm in the Emperor's pavilion. Don't come over here, I will go home right after I finish massaging your feet. Qin Feng couldn't help but feel quite surprised when he heard that Mai was actually coming to see him, and hurriedly spoke to the person on the other end of the phone. It was the late night and Qin Feng was ready to spend some money at the Emperor Pavilion, so he went out, turned left, and went to the best hotel in the entire harbor, the Harbor Hotel, to have a sleep, and then went to the Mercedes-Benz store to pick up the car the next day. What is Mai doing here? He can't take Mai to the Harbor Hotel. That's not the case. No matter how you look at it, Qin Feng is a gentleman. What's more, there was the lobby manager Shen Jilin who was massaging his feet next to him. Shen Jilin was one of the girls he was more proud of in the nightclub, and he liked her as much as Mai on the moon. Qin Feng was worried that unnecessary sparks would arise after the two met. So he decisively refused Mei's request to go to the Emperor's pavilion to look for him. But unexpectedly, the more Qin Feng tried to stop her from going, the more Mai insisted on going. Brother Feng, why don't you let me go? You wouldn't be short of a few $100s for massage, would you? I feel like my brother Feng is not that kind of person. After all, he can give me 20,000 yuan in tips for one night, so how could my brother Feng care about the meager massage fee? Mai sat up from the bed, quickly put on her clothes, and spoke solemnly to Qin Feng. I'm ready to go to the Imperial Pavilion to find Qin Feng. It was not for any other reason, but because Mai had a bad premonition in her heart at this moment, that is, the woman who was currently serving Qin Feng in the Imperial Pavilion was most likely the type Qin Feng liked. Otherwise, it would be impossible for Qin Feng to drink on the moon in the middle of the night and then run to the Emperor's Pavilion. Although today was her first day meeting Qin Feng, Mai knew that she had to do her best to keep Qin Feng's heart. Otherwise, she will definitely regret it for the rest of her life. Brother Feng, wait for me for a moment. I'm out the door, I'll be there soon. After we finish the massage at the Emperor Pavilion, we'll go out for a midnight snack and drink less. I will ask Brother Feng to come when the time comes. Mai, who had already dressed, spoke to Qin Feng on the other end of the phone. After saying that, he hung up the video, called an online taxi, and headed towards the Imperial Pavilion as fast as possible. Hey, Mai, don't come. Although Qin Feng was extremely reluctant to let Mai go here, the latter simply refused to listen. I could only put down my phone helplessly and shook my head. Why, is your girlfriend coming over to check on you? At this time, Shen Jilin, who was massaging Qin Feng's feet, seemed to notice that something was wrong. She quickly raised her head and asked Qin Feng cautiously. From the video conversation with Qin Feng just now, Shen Jilin vaguely learned that the girl on the other side seemed to be coming to find Qin Feng. In Shen Jilin's opinion, who else could run to a leisure and entertainment venue like the Emperor's Pavilion to look for Qin Feng at 2 or 3 o'clock in the night, except Qin Feng's girlfriend? Chapter 24, Don't Shake Your Head. If you don't shake your head, how can I support you? Not a girlfriend, I've told you 1,000 times, I don't have a girlfriend. It was a KTV singing girl named Mai, and we had just finished drinking. After hanging up the phone, Qin Feng was somewhat confused, and spoke to Shen Jilin in an impatient tone. Because he didn't expect that Mai, who had just had a drink with him, ran to the Imperial Pavilion for a massage after learning that he had left above the moon, and actually chose to take a taxi to come to find him. To be honest, Qin Feng didn't know whether this treatment was a blessing or a curse for him. You know, let alone Mai, the nightclub girl he had just met less than 12 hours ago, even his previous official girlfriends would probably not be so excited as to run over to him after learning that he was having a massage in the club. The degree to which Mai cared about him was beyond his imagination. For the first time in his life, Qin Feng felt this kind of super cared for feeling from a woman. While feeling happy, Qin Feng also felt a little annoyed. He originally wanted to have a heart-to-heart talk with Shinjilin, a new nightclub girl he had just met, in the massage parlor to get to know each other better. However, if Mai Mai came, it would definitely disrupt his plans. It seems that there is a saying that is true, that is, there is gain in loss and loss in gain. When God bestows happiness on people, he will inevitably bring them trouble. That's just what I said, there's nothing wrong with it, not a single mistake. At this moment, Qin Feng felt this trouble deeply. Mai Mai? Is it Mai Mai on the moon? Unexpectedly, on the other side, after hearing Qin Feng's words, Shinjilin, who was sitting under him and massaging his feet with all her strength, immediately widened her eyes and opened her mouth, and asked Qin Feng in surprise. Oh, yes, it's Mai Mai above the moon. Could it be that you two know each other? Seeing Shinjilin's state, Qin Feng was more or less confused and replied stupidly. From what Shinjilin said, Qin Feng judged that Shinjilin probably knew Mai Mai, otherwise she wouldn't have asked him this. Alas, I didn't expect that the person who just drank with you was Mai Mai. After hearing this, Shinjilin sighed silently and shook her head. There is no doubt that Shinjilin and Mai Mai do know each other. It was not for any other reason, but because before Shinjilin came to the Imperial Pavilion to be the lobby manager, she had also worked at the Moon and was a hostess there. However, later on, due to some health problems, he could no longer drink, so he went to Emperor Pavilion to work as the lobby manager. Brother Feng, do you like drinking? If you like drinking, you can find me. You don't have to go to KTV to find a girl to drink with you. I, Shinjilin, can definitely be a good companion for Brother Feng. Then Shinjilin hurriedly said to Qin Feng with a smile. After learning that Mai Mai was about to arrive here, Shinjilin tried to further improve the relationship between her and Qin Feng before the other party arrived here. At this time, Shinjilin could be sure of one thing, that is, Qin Feng probably liked to drink, and he didn't like to drink alone. Otherwise, it would be impossible to go to KTV to find girls to hostesses. Although she had some health problems before, she has recovered now. Even if her body was not well, she was absolutely willing to get drunk with the man sitting in front of her. For some reason, she wanted to keep Qin Feng firmly under her control after knowing him for less than an hour. The kind that doesn't allow others to share. She could accept that Qin Feng had a girlfriend, but she could not accept that Qin Feng had other girls besides her in the nightclub. When Shinjilin thought of the scene of Qin Feng and Mai Mai drinking on the moon, she felt extremely uncomfortable, as if a huge stone was placed in her heart. This was a feeling she would never have with other male guests. Qin Feng is the one and only one. Really, Manager Shin, you can drink too. After hearing Shinjilin's words, Qin Feng's eyes immediately flashed with excitement. At the same time, the scene of eating hot pot and drinking beer with Shinjilin in a hot pot restaurant appeared in front of my eyes. Shinjilin guessed correctly. He really likes drinking, but he doesn't like to get drunk alone. Willing to drink with girls, especially pretty girls. There is no doubt that Shinjilin meets his requirements for a drinking partner. If Shinjilin can really drink a few glasses, then it would not be a bad idea for him and Shinjilin to find a hot pot restaurant in the harbor tonight, eat some delicious food and drink some beer. It's no worse than drinking in KTV. Most importantly, the system has clearly reminded him that as long as he spends money on girls in nightclubs, he can get a tenfold cashback. In this case, he can get a tenfold cashback on the money he and Shinjilin spend on drinking and dining out, so why not do it? When the time comes, he will give Shinjilin more tips to speed up his money-making process and strive to drive the G63 as soon as possible. Okay, Manager Shin, I'll pick you up tonight. The two of us went out for a meal and some drinks. Don't worry, you won't be short of tips. I, Qin Feng, won't let women drink with me for free. Thinking of this, Qin Feng did not hesitate at all, and immediately said with a smile to Shinjilin who was massaging his feet. It means that he would make an appointment with the other party for dinner and drinks tonight. He was looking forward to meeting Shinjilin somewhere other than a nightclub. I guess it must be a different feeling. Okay, Brother Feng, I couldn't ask for more. But you have to promise me that after you have me, you can no longer go to KTV to drink with other girls. After hearing what Qin Feng said, Shinjilin couldn't help but smile. She pouted at Qin Feng and spoke like a spoiled child. She naturally knew that if she went out to eat and drink with Qin Feng would definitely not treat her unfairly. It must be much more than what she earns at work. To put it another way, even if Qin Feng didn't give her money, she would be willing to go out and eat and drink with Qin Feng. As the saying goes, money can't buy my willingness. That's all I mean. There is nothing wrong with it. But she hoped that after Qin Feng had her company, he would not look for other girls. However, Qin Feng did not respond or express any opinion to her words. Just smiled faintly. He did not comment on Shinjilin's question. To be honest, Qin Feng wanted to agree to Shinjilin's request and never step into a nightclub again. But the problem is that the crappy system he was bound to limited the cashback opportunities to nightclubs. If we don't let him go to nightclubs from now on, isn't that the same as taking his life? Looking at Shinjilin, who was pouting and looking angry in front of him, what Qin Feng wanted to say but didn't say was, from now on, if he didn't go to nightclubs to find girls, how would he give her tips and how would he support her? There is no doubt that Qin Feng could feel from Shinjilin's eyes that the latter intended to become his wife in the future. Chapter 25. You're here just now. Brother Feng and I have been waiting for you for a long time. Okay, I know you men like to play. It doesn't matter, as long as you promise me that you will come to see me often in the future, and I will be the woman you see most often in nightclubs. Seeing Qin Feng's look, Shinjilin guessed what was going on. After all, a man is a young man until he dies, especially a man like Qin Feng who is handsome and has a lot of money in his pocket. It is definitely impossible to be tied down by a woman. Any woman next to Qin Feng can only act like a well-behaved little bird, allowing herself to be manipulated by him instead of controlling him. There is no doubt that Shinjilin is willing to be the well-behaved little bird beside Qin Feng. Also, Brother Feng, don't call me Manager Shin anymore. Just call me Jilin, you know my name. Then Shinjilin continued to speak to Qin Feng. Qin Feng meant that from now on, he should stop calling her Manager Shin, such an ugly name. It was fine inside the Imperial Pavilion, but if they were outside and Qin Feng still called her Manager Shin, it would be a bit awkward. If you don't know, you would think she is Qin Feng's boss. Okay, Jilin. Qin Feng smiled after hearing this. Needless to say, he is just in his early 20s, and although Shinjilin looks young as well, there is no doubt that the latter is definitely older than him. Unexpectedly, the latter kept calling him Brother Feng. Qin Feng had never experienced this kind of feeling with a woman in his life. But he knew deep down that this kind of thing would happen to him frequently from now on. After all, Qin Feng is no longer the Qin Feng of the past. Now he is truly a king. The king of kings. I am no longer the poor student I used to be. Brother Feng, I'm downstairs. Which floor are you on? I'll come up to you right away. At this moment, Qin Feng's WeChat suddenly rang. He picked it up and found that it was a WeChat message from Mai. I'm in the massage hall on the second floor. Come on up, you can see me here. Qin Feng didn't expect Mai to be so fast, and quickly replied to her via voice. Then he glanced at Shinjilin, who was massaging his feet, wondering what kind of sparks would be created when these two people met. Needless to say, Shinjilin and Mai are old friends. After all, we were colleagues on the moon before. Qin Feng didn't know what the relationship between the two women was like. He just hoped that they wouldn't fight because of him when they met later. When Shinjilin heard that Mai was about to go upstairs, she couldn't help but feel a little nervous. Before this, she had never expected that one day, she and Mai would meet again, and in a place like the Imperial Pavilion. It really made Shinjilin sigh that life is unpredictable and that one S big intestine is bound to be trapped in another S small intestine. When they were on above the moon, she and Mai were both singing companions and were colleagues. However, this time, they became a relationship of waiter and guest. Speaking of which, she used to have an extremely good relationship with Mai. The kind that can be called a good girlfriend. She also didn't know whether Mai would feel embarrassed when she saw her later. After all, to put it bluntly, the reason why the two of them could meet today was all because of this man Qin Feng. On the other side, Mai soon arrived at the massage hall on the second floor of the Imperial Pavilion after being informed by Qin Feng. As soon as she arrived at the lobby entrance, Mai saw Qin Feng lying on a massage chair in the corner by the window. The moment Mai saw Qin Feng, a warm feeling instantly rose in her heart. Although she had only been separated from Qin Feng for less than 2 hours, for some reason, Mai felt as if 2 years had passed. Brother Feng. Then Shinjilin waved excitedly at Qin Feng and trotted towards him. After running 2 steps, he saw a woman wearing a short black dress, showing her smooth and white thighs, squatting on the ground washing Qin Feng's feet. Seeing this scene, Mai suddenly felt a surge of jealousy and anger in her heart. Although she hasn't seen this person's face clearly, just from the woman's figure and the fairness of her skin, Mai can guess that this person must be a beauty, and her looks are definitely not inferior to hers. As she walked towards this side, Mai became more and more angry. She even wanted to fight with this woman soon. She hasn't even touched Qin Feng's feet yet. However, this woman touched him with her hands unscrupulously. Although what Qin Feng was doing was a foot washing and foot massage, in Mei's opinion, that was not okay. Not for any other reason, just because Qin Feng's body only allows her to touch it. She couldn't let Qin Feng be snatched away by any other nightclub girl other than her. Although Mai thought so, when she came to Qin Feng with her fists clenched and angrily looked at the woman who was massaging Qin Feng's feet, she was shocked. I never expected that the nightclub girl Qin Feng came to Emperor's Pavilion to find would be her. Mai, you're here. Brother Feng and I have been waiting for you for a long time. When Mai came near Qin Feng, Shenjilin suddenly raised her head, looked at Mai and said with a smile. Jilin. This made Mai stunned. She looked at the face in front of her that was so familiar that it couldn't be more familiar, and muttered to herself blankly. Hurry up and sit down, Mai. I'll have someone call all the technicians over later and you can choose. Qin Feng also greeted Mai with a smile and sat down on the massage chair next to him. He also said that he would let Mai choose a technician to give her a foot massage service later. It's okay, Brother Feng. I came here just to see you, it doesn't matter if I provide service or not. After hearing what Qin Feng said, Mai came back to her senses from her daze and responded to Qin Feng with a smile. Then, he followed Qin Feng's instructions and sat on the massage chair beside him. But her eyes were still fixed on Shenjilin, her former best friend whom she hadn't seen for a long time. I also didn't expect to meet him again on this occasion. Speaking of which, when they were on the moon, Mai and Shenjilin had a pretty good relationship. The kind of person who can talk about anything. But later they broke up because of one thing. Now that they meet again, Mai plans to say something to Shenjilin to reminisce about their old friendship. As the saying goes, when one meets, a smile can wipe out all grudges. But she found herself unable to say anything. Especially after seeing Shenjilin's delicate hands gently massaging Qin Feng's feet, he became even more furious. She knew that there was no way that she and Shenjilin would ever reconcile in this lifetime. Of the two of them, only one is destined to stay with Qin Feng. Mai is confident that that person must be her, not Shenjilin. Brother Feng, we both had a great time drinking just now. Why don't we go somewhere else and have some drinks? Feng Ji says that we should drink until a certain time, and Mai will drink with Feng Ji until that time. Even if she has to drink until dawn, Mai is willing to do it. Mai stretched out her right hand and gently placed it on Qin Feng's shoulder. In front of Shenjilin, she spoke to the latter with affection. Chapter 26. I'll make my choice after a while. I, Qin Feng, want them all. After hearing Mei's words, Shenjilin's heart suddenly skipped a beat, and a nameless anger rose in her heart. To be honest, the moment she saw Mai, she was ready to put aside the past grudges and reconcile with her. But as soon as Mai said these words to Qin Feng, Shenjilin knew that it would be impossible for the two of them to reconcile in this lifetime. It was obvious that what Mai said just now was not only directed at Qin Feng, but also at her. Swearing to her the sovereignty of Qin Feng. However, in Shenjilin's opinion, Mai is not Qin Feng's girlfriend, but like her, she is just a girl Qin Feng just met in a nightclub. How can I keep Qin Feng firmly by my side and possess him all by myself? Whatever Mai can do, Shenjilin can do as well. Brother Feng, do you remember what I told you just now? If you want to drink in the future, you don't have to go to KTV. It's better for us to go out and have some hot pot and drink some wine than to go to KTV. Whether Feng Ji wants to drink beer or white wine, I, Shenjilin, can accompany Feng Ji well. Shenjilin took the towel beside her, gently wiped her wet hands, stood up, came behind Qin Feng, massaged Qin Feng's shoulders, and leaned next to the latter's ear, speaking in a neither loud nor soft voice. Shenjilin said this on purpose for Mai to hear. Since Mai has already laid her cards on the table and declared her sovereignty over Qin Feng, Shenjilin knows that she can no longer hide anything. She was worried that if she could not express her feelings in front of Qin Feng at this time, Qin Feng would definitely be snatched away by Mai. Shenjilin, what do you mean? What does Brother Feng mean that if I want to drink in the future I can just come to you and there is no need to go to KTV? Don't you know what I do? The next second, Mai widened her eyes, glared at Shinjilin, who was not far away from her, and shouted harshly. My, I'm telling the truth. If Feng Ji wants to drink, there is really no need to go to KTV often, as the consumption there is extremely expensive. Although Brother Feng is not short of money, there is no need to let him spend that much money. Besides, you may not be able to accompany Brother Feng well. Shinjilin also did not give in. She turned her head and responded loudly to Mai. At this moment, Qin Feng was more or less confused, facing the tense situation between the two. It was not for any other reason, but because he did not expect that Mai and Shinjilin, two former good friends, would fall out so quickly over the issue of their ownership rights. Less than a minute after Mai entered the room, the two were about to start fighting. If he didn't take action to control the situation, he was really worried that the two of them might start fighting in front of him in the next second. To be honest, it does feel good to have two girls fighting for his favor. It's more than just fun, it's absolutely awesome. But Qin Feng absolutely could not let the two of them fight. If the two women started fighting without restraint and one of them got hurt, it would be bad. That was naturally not the situation Qin Feng wanted to see. As the saying goes, only those who are exhausted can make choices. The Real King wants them all. In Qin Feng's opinion, after he obtained the system, it would be impossible for him to have only two nightclub girls, Mai and Shinjilin. As time goes by, there will inevitably be more and more girls from nightclubs who continue to enter his life. So what he wanted to say was that the quarrel between Mai and Shinjilin at this moment was completely unnecessary, according to the words of the general, the stinky bug. After breaking up with Liu Yu, Qin Feng understood many things and thought clearly about many problems. From now on, Qin Feng will never be as devoted as before and put his heart firmly on one woman. Unless he really meets that woman in the future who makes his heart beat so fast that he can't extricate himself. But now, Qin Feng understands that it is far from that time. He had obtained the system less than a day ago, and now he only needed to do one thing, which was to enjoy life and shake his head wildly. Try to make your bank card balance exceed 100 million as soon as possible. Own a Maybach and G63 as soon as possible. Okay. Stop arguing. Take out your Alipay payment codes. Qin Feng, who was half lying on the massage chair, suddenly sat up, took out the Longwei mobile phone from his trouser pocket, waved his hand, and shouted at the two of them. In the past, he didn't know how to comfort a woman when she was angry. But now he knows. Although money is not necessarily the best option, it definitely helps. After hearing Qin Feng's words, Shinjilin and Mai were stunned at first, and then looked at each other in surprise. Then, following Qin Feng's instructions, he blankly opened the Alipay payment interface on his mobile phone and displayed it in front of Qin Feng. At this moment, the two of them had their hearts beating at full speed. The kind that's about to fly out of your throat. After all, they are not fools, and they know very well what Qin Feng's intention is in asking them to display the Alipay payment interface. What else can we do except transfer money to them? And since the payment code interface Qin Feng asked them to show was Alipay, not WeChat. This means that the amount of money Qin Feng will have to pay them next is definitely not a small amount. Otherwise, you can just use WeChat, there is no need to use Alipay. And the next second, their guess was verified. Alipay received 100,000 yuan. Alipay received 100,000 yuan. After Qin Feng finished his operations, a crisp notification sound came from both of their mobile phones at the same time. It was prompted that both of them had received a transfer of 100,000 yuan in their Alipay accounts from the Alipay user using Liang Chaowei's avatar. Listening to this voice, they saw that their Alipay balances had increased by a full 6 figures. Shinjilin and Mai were so shocked that they didn't know what to do at that moment. The kind that almost made his eyeballs fall to the ground in shock. I like both of you. This 100,000 yuan is a gift for our first meeting. Remember, don't quarrel in front of me anymore. Who I, Qin Feng, want to find depends on my mood. If you want to stay with me forever, behave yourself. If you perform well, Qin Feng will definitely be fine. After transferring 100,000 yuan to each of their Alipay accounts, Qin Feng lay back in the massage chair contentedly. The reason why Qin Feng chose to give Mai and Shinjilin, two nightclub girls whom he had just known for less than 12 hours, another 100,000 yuan tip to each of them. One reason was that he didn't want them to continue arguing in front of him. Otherwise, these two people would definitely start fighting. The second and more important reason is that Qin Feng wants to speed up his cashback. Qin Feng just checked his balance and found that he had worked very hard all night. The bank card balance has only reached more than 400,000, less than 500,000. At this rate of consumption, it will take him a long time to own both a Maybach and a G63. Just now, Qin Feng realized that he had to speed up his money-making speed. Chapter 27, Get the Hong Kong A99999 Mercedes-Benz G reward. And when Qin Feng paid 200,000 yuan to the two girls through Alipay, not only Shenjilin and Mai Mai were stunned. Even the bar girl who was hiding at the entrance of the hall and secretly watching Qin Feng, as well as the female technicians in the Emperor's Pavilion, were all at a loss. Just now, I learned that a super awesome guest came to the Emperor Pavilion today. He gave the lobby manager Shenjilin a tip of 18,800 yuan at the bar and asked the latter to personally serve him. Almost all the female technicians in the Emperor's Pavilion secretly ran to the door of the massage hall and quietly looked at Qin Feng lying on the massage chair through the gauze curtain. I want to remember the face of this extremely generous and awesome guest. This way, when Qin Feng comes next time, they will have the opportunity to serve each other. Originally, they thought that Qin Feng was already awesome enough for giving Shenjilin an 18,888 tip at the bar today. But when they heard the two loud voices coming from the massage hall, they realized that Qin Feng, a man who looked like the Hong Kong and Taiwan star Tony Leung during his heyday, was not only awesome, but extremely awesome. You know, that's 100,000 oceans per person, and Qin Feng just swept it away with ease. $100,000 is almost as much as their annual salary. At this time, all the female staff members of the Emperor Pavilion, including the bar girl Xiaoting, were looking at Shenjilin with eyes that were almost burning with envy. Even the cleaning lady who was sweeping the floor followed suit, picking up the mop and stomping her feet in anger. I wish I could be 40 years younger immediately so that I can meet a very awesome guest like Qin Feng. Brother Feng, you just paid 100,000 yuan per person through Alipay. Shenjilin widened her eyes and looked at the extra 100,000 balance in Alipay. For a moment, she found it hard to believe that this was true. Until she rubbed her eyes and carefully looked at her Alipay balance 3 times in a row. Only then was I sure that what I saw was real. Just now, she actually received a transfer of 100,000 oceans from Qin Feng into her Alipay account. Shenjilin was so happy that she added Qin Feng's Alipay account without any hesitation. Looking at this user using Liang Chaowei's avatar, Shenjilin became happier and more delighted the more she looked. I lamented that there might be smoke coming out of my ancestral graves tonight. After wandering in nightclubs for so many years, she finally met Qin Feng, the Prince Charming in her dreams who could save her life. Shenjilin deeply understood that the astonishing 118,888 oceans that Qin Feng gave her tonight would bring about a qualitative improvement in her life. Not only was her rent and credit card settled, but even the surgery fees for her brother who suffered from uremia were paid for. On the other hand, although Mai Mai was not as short of money as Shenjilin, she was not rich either. She was also so happy about the more than 100,000 yuan Qin Feng transferred to her tonight that she was about to fly. Looking at the extra balance of 100,000 yuan in Alipay, Mai Mai realized that she now had the brand name cosmetics she had always wanted. There are also Cartier watches that cost up to 50,000 yuan each. It was also at this moment that the two girls understood one thing. That is, if one of them wants to trap Qin Feng, it is simply impossible. Because in this world, some people's lives are destined to belong to the sea of stars. I will never stop for a tree or a flower. There is no doubt that in addition to the two of them, Qin Feng will meet more girls in the future. What they need to do is to join hands and work together to keep a part of Qin Fengshan with them. Thinking of this, Mai Mai and Shenjilin both took a deep breath at the same time, raised their heads, and looked at each other at the same time. Jointly determined this strategic goal. It was also at this second that the two women, who had been fighting fiercely over Qin Feng's ownership, stood on a united front. Jiao Lin, go find me a set of technician uniforms. Let's both keep Brother Feng company tonight. After the massage, I will go to the food stall next door to have a drink with Brother Feng, and I won't leave until I'm drunk. Mai Mai suddenly stood up from the massage chair, followed Shenjilin's example, came behind Qin Feng, and started massaging his shoulders. Okay Mai Mai, wait for me. Brother Feng, even though Mai Mai is a KTV girl, her massage skills are amazing, not much different from those of professional massage therapists. Shenjilin, who had just confirmed a united front with Mai Mai, immediately nodded and said to the two of them with a smile. Then he quickly brought Mai Mai a set of technician uniform that was exactly the same as hers. A short black dress and a pair of black low-heeled shoes. My, there's a dressing room next to you, you can go in and change. After we change, we will give Brother Feng a massage together. After handing the clothes and shoes to My, Shinjilin kindly pointed to the changing room nearby. She said that after My changed her clothes there, she could come over and give Qin Feng a massage with her. Oh, there's no one else here. I'll just change it here. Brother Feng, wait a moment, I'll be there soon. It would be unprofessional not to change into this attire. Unexpectedly, after taking the clothes and shoes, My sighed, shook her head and said to Shinjilin. It means that there is no other man in the massage hall except Qin Feng, so she can just change here. Then he sat on the massage chair beside him and started the operation. Hey, My, you should go to the locker room and change. Qin Feng turned his head and was about to persuade My to go inside to change, but as soon as he turned his head, he saw that My had already taken off her white short-sleeved shirt. Then he quickly turned his head away and didn't look at the latter. I didn't expect that My really didn't treat him as an outsider. She even changed clothes next to him. It seems that the 200,000 yuan he just spent on Alipay for the two people was not wasted. It suddenly shortened the distance between him and the two girls. However, what puzzled Qin Feng was that, logically speaking, after a series of operations from inside to outside, Shinjilin's admiration for him should have reached the standard. But the system didn't remind him yet, which surprised Qin Feng. You know, the system he obtained not only allows him to get 10 times cash back on his consumption in nightclubs. Even if the girls in the nightclub reach a certain level of admiration for him, he can still get extra rewards. For example, when he was spending money on the moon before, after Mei's primary and intermediate admiration values for him reached the requirements, the system gave him 2 rewards in a row: master-level singing skills and full-level athletic ability. He felt that as long as Shinjilin, the lobby manager of the Emperor's Pavilion, was not a heartless person, he would have been more or less moved by him at this moment. At least the basic admiration value should have been reached. But the system prompt did not sound in his mind. Qin Feng couldn't help but wonder if his system was broken. Congratulations, host, the nightclub girl Shinjilin has reached the primary admiration value for you. Get the Hong Kong A99999 Supreme license plate Mercedes-Benz G as a reward. It is now parked in the Emperor Pavilion parking lot, please pick it up by yourself. Just when Qin Feng was feeling puzzled, at this moment, a strong system prompt sound suddenly came from his mind.